From the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, CBS presents the San Francisco 49ers versus the Los Angeles Rams.
Ladies and gentlemen.
And now, the crowd being asked to stand for the singing of our national anthem, the United States Color Guard marching onto the field, and in a moment, our national anthem. A magnificent day here in Los Angeles, temperature 82 degrees. What wind we do have is barely a zephyr, about 10 miles an hour out of the west. Crowd somewhere over 50,000 for the oldest rivalry in the west. And now the color guard in position, and in a moment, our national anthem as sung by Ron Rusthoven.
Now to honor America, please join a bright new singing star of stage and theater, Ron Rusthoven, in our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Everybody, I'm Vin Scully along with Sonny Jurgensen, and the subject before the House will be Joe Namath of the Los Angeles Rams versus the defensive front four of the San Francisco 49ers.
And it's a tough one, too. Tommy Hart, Webb, Elam, and Hardman. They really come at the pass of something like 22 sacks in the last 3 games that they've played against the Rams, and it's something Namath's going to have to contend with today.
What will he do to contend with that problem and solve it?
He'll probably throw some on first down, try to keep his backs in to help some, and also throw shorter passes.
Well, that's the problem. We'll see about the solution, if there be one. Right now, let's go down on the field for the toss of the coin. So as you have seen, the toss of the coin, and the Rams have won and elected to receive. So that means that the problem will be front and center in a moment, as Joe Namath will get his hands on the ball and the 49ers will defend. Ken Myers, who worked here for several years under Chuck Knox, and there is Chuck Knox of the Rams. And for the 3rd consecutive week, Chuck Knox and the Rams facing an ex-Ram coach. They opened up against Atlanta, Lehman Bennett, then last week Philadelphia Dick Vermeil, and this time Ken Myers and the San Francisco 49ers. So for the Niners trying to get started, and they'll go deep for the Rams, will be Wendell Tyler, number 26, along with Jim Jodat going back on the right side, number 43. So Jodat, as you see on your screen, and to his left is Wendell Tyler, who starred here for UCLA. Tom Whittem ready to kick off for the 49ers, and we're just about ready to get it underway. The Rams and the 49ers. And Tom Whittem kicks it away. It'll be Wendell Tyler on his 14-yard line to the 25, hit at the 30, fights his way across the 35 to the 45, and is finally knocked out of bounds at about the 47-yard line. Tim O'Bradovich, Dave Williams with 2 men to hit him, along with Bradley and Elia. A 33-yard return for Wendell Tyler.
Excellent field position for Joe to start with.
Well, we take a look at the Rams now with Joe Namath. Going right is Ron Jesse. The tight end is Terry Nelson on the right side. Harold Jackson split left. And the backs are Lawrence McCutcheon and John Capoletti at fullback. 1st and 10 from the Ram 49. John Capoletti stacked up immediately for no gain. And it would appear that Tommy Hart got the first lick in for the front 4. And the Rams going right at them, son.
Right straight up the middle, and that's what I think everybody in the stadium here would have called that play, because that's something the Rams have always started with, that little straight-ahead running play.
The defense for the 49ers in the big 4, Tommy Hart, Jimmy Webb, Cleveland, Elam, and Cedric Hartman. And the Rams have broken the huddle with Harper, Vanderbunt, and Washington, the linebackers. Namath calling it 2nd and almost 10 again. With the back split and they both go out, Namath on his own, and down the middle, across the 35-yard line, hit very hard at the 32-yard line by Skip Vanderbunt. And Vanderbunt hitting his man hard, but they picked up the complete pass to Ron Jesse. 19-yard pass to Ron Jesse. Take another look.
Hey, he gets good pass protection here. It keeps his back end to help, and you see them working. Hardman working there. France did a good job on him. Good time to throw, but what a catch he makes in traffic.
So the Rams now, there's a defensive secondary. Leonard, Taylor, Phillips, and McGill. And Namath has the club moving on the 49er 33, and Lawrence McCutcheon ran into John Capoletti, who was trying to block out Willie Harper, and that just snafu'd the play. McCutcheon has had 19 100-yard games in his career, but never a 100-yard rushing game against San Francisco. The closest, he had 97.
But it's his average, something like 3.2 rushing against the Rams. They played it well, and the penetration they get has hurt him.
2nd and 6, the ball on the 49er 29-yard line. Jackson left and Jesse right. Second man through is Lawrence McCutcheon, and he was finally hit by number 50. And down he went immediately as Dave Washington hit him hard. And he crossed the 25 for a first down. So the Rams and Joe Namath, after a nice 33-yard return on the opening kickoff by Wendell Tyler, are moving and have their second first down on the 49er 22-yard line. Here are the officials with Ben Dripe, the referee, John Keck, Frank Glover, Jack Johnson, Stan Javy, and Dick Ferguson. Dwight Scales is in there now on the right side, but it's Capoletti trying to get a cross block and got across the 20-yard line before he's brought down on about the 18-yard line with Tommy Hart making the catch.
They're going right at the, look at this score, 28-14, Pittsburgh over Cleveland. That's the final. Big game for Pittsburgh coming back. They were trailing in that game 14-7 at one time. The Rams going right at the Jim Webb more than anybody else right now.
2nd down for the Rams. About 7 to go. Namath has Jackson left and Dwight Scales in there on the right side, but it's McCutcheon, and he fights to the 15-yard line before he's bowled and knocked down. Hit by 3 men. Again, the first one was Tommy Hart. This telecast presented by authority of the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Los Angeles Rams and the National Football League is prohibited. So the Rams on 3rd down.
Here's another final. Atlanta gets its first win, beating the Giants 17-3. Second win, by the way. They beat the Rams, didn't they, in that first game?
3rd and 3, and Namath going to put it up. Both backs go out. He goes down the right side, intended for Terry Nelson. Mel Phillips right there with him to defend.
Good coverage here on this pattern. Joe trying to be safe with the ball because he's in field goal range. He has good protection, and you see he's trying to throw a little out and up to the back. Good coverage here. A little pushing there by Mel Phillips. Detroit 17, Philadelphia 13.
Rafael Septien will attempt a 32-yard field goal to try and get the Rams on the board. In fact, you can make it when they spot it by Nolan Cromwell at 33-yard field goal. And he boots it good. And the Rams have first blood as Rafael Septien, the boy from Mexico City, gets them on the scoreboard, a 33-yard field goal. And in the early minutes here, we have 11 minutes left to go in the first quarter. The Rams are leading the 49ers 3-0.
Ron Jesse is reported to have an injury of the right knee and will not play anymore today. Dwight Scales will take his place. Here's Jesse sitting there. That's a big bad break for the Rams on that first great catch that he made coming across the middle. He really got nailed.
Rick Jennings, who has just picked up by the 49ers, having been cut by Tampa Bay, will be the deep man. Rafael Septien kicking it off, and Jennings has to come up and get it on his own 7-yard line. He has Dale Mitchell in front of him, and he gets just short of the 30-yard line before he's brought down by McLean, among others. So the 49ers have a chance now to put the ball in play. A report about Ron Jesse with that bad knee. He's averaged almost 29 yards a catch in his NFC career. Now we'll see the 49er receivers with Washington, Lash, and Mitchell. And Jim Plunkett putting the ball in play from his own 29-yard line. Washington is left, Lash right. Delvin Williams, a deep back behind Wilbur Jackson. And it's Wilbur Jackson running into a group at the 32-yard line.
The offensive line of San Francisco, even though they have some 4 or 5 years experience, they really haven't started that much. Barrett was his first year last year that he started. Hornhurst was his first year that he got to play as a regular. So they are young and experienced, maybe not so much in years.
So Plunkett unsuccessful in his first try. There's the secondary for the Rams, and we'll see if Plunkett puts it up in the air. His backs are split, and he likes to pass in that formation. However, this time he gives it to Wilbur Jackson. Brodzinski comes up to hit him first, and then Jim Youngblood. But Bob Brodzinski, the rookie out of Ohio State, and he is starting over Rick Kay last week and again this week. He's the boy who laid all those syllables on him.
An upset here. Look, the Jets upset New England 30-27.
So the ball not quite on the San Francisco 30-yard line. So it is third down and just about 10. Washington wide left, Lash right. Shifting out of the eye, both Jackson and Williams. Plunkett to pass. Jones trying to get it. He is pulled down by Freddie Dreyer. And Plunkett goes down on the 20-yard line. And the first sack of the day, surprisingly, goes to the Rams.
They draw first blood. Good pressure this time. He kept his backs in, trying to help out a little bit. You see the work there. He can't find anybody. Coverage also had an awful lot to do with that sack.
So Tom Whittem will be standing on his own 5-yard line. Billy Waddy all alone on his 37 for the Rams. 3-0 in favor of Los Angeles, early going in the first quarter. And the Rams are coming. Simpson not quite there in time. The ball, however, was rushed and will go out of bounds, or will it be downed? It'll be downed by Bruce Elia, and they'll spot the ball on the Ram 46-yard line. 34-yard punt, no return. Bill Simpson just late in his attempted block. So Joe Namath, who piloted his ball club to a 33-yard field goal to get on the scoreboard, now takes over 1st and 10 on the Ram 46. He is without Ron Jesse, so Dwight Scales is left. Harold Jackson is right. And Namath dropped the handoff from center, and let's see. It appeared as if the Rams recovered. Rick Saul, the center, turned and tried to get on it, but the man who did was John Capoletti.
Capoletti, I think he was going to get the ball, and Joe lost the handle on it going into the same hole. Capoletti just fell on it. Very smart, alert play by the big fullback.
Remember, at the start of the day, the temperature 82 degrees in Los Angeles. It's at least 10 degrees or hotter than that down on the field. Scales goes right, Jackson left. Capoletti and McCutcheon are split this time. Second down. And it's McCutcheon trying to cut back at midfield. Hardiman finally had him at the knees. He fell forward to the 48-yard line of the 49ers.
Two first quarter scores. San Diego's leading Cincinnati 7-0. James Harris to Charlie Joyner with a 30-yard touchdown pass, and Denver's leading Seattle 7-0.
Third and about 4. The ball just inside the San Francisco 49-yard line. Jackson wide right and Scales left. They really split McCutcheon and Capoletti. So we'll see if Joe goes to the air. The backs both release. Namath down the middle, and it's complete to Terry Nelson at the 40-yard line. He took it away from Mel Phillips, and he finally goes down at the 38-yard line. We can take another look.
And what a throw by Joe Namath here under pressure. Watch the pressure get to him. You see Elam escape his man here. Joe still has the ball. Just lets it go and makes a very accurate throw to Nelson. Here's Hart on his rush. Williams grabbing a little bit. Boy, do they have a battle. What a battle that is all day.
First and 10 for Joe Namath. The ball on the 38-yard line of San Francisco. It's Capoletti, and he just ran into a group.
Baltimore's leading Buffalo in the third period, 17-7.
Sonny, on this kind of a day, I guess ball control is important, particularly in trying to wear down the front four of San Francisco.
Definitely is. It's also important for San Francisco, too. They need to control the ball to keep it away from Joe Namath. Because Joe Namath does give the Rams. He gives them another dimension offensively.
Second and 9 from the San Francisco 37. Dwight Scales right, Harold Jackson left. Same back, Capoletti and McCutcheon. Capoletti releases, McCutcheon stays in, and the pass is caught by Dwight Scales on the 5-yard line, brought down by Ralph McGill. Dwight Scales came up with it.
Right out of the playbook. Look at this. He's back again to throw. Phillips misses it. Another man sticks up a hand. Look who the alert Dwight Scales gets a one-hander there.
A 33-yard pass completion, thanks to a couple of assists to Dwight Scales. So Namath will take a second look for another angle.
He just right from behind Hardman had there. The ball just gets tipped up to Scales, or it may have been intercepted. Good alert play by Scales.
First and goal, and they spot the ball on the 6-yard line. Charlie Young is in there, along with Terry Nelson. As Capoletti bangs straight up at the 5-yard line.
Washington's leading St. Louis on a 12-yard touchdown pass by Billy Kilmer to Frank Grant in the first quarter.
So it'll be second and goal from the 5. Capoletti met head-on by the linebackers of the 49ers.
Good defensive play then.
Calling his own plays, as Sonny pointed out at the start of the broadcast, and he has tight ends in there again, both Young and Nelson. Scales on a wing, Capoletti at fullback, and McCutcheon the halfback. And here comes McCutcheon trying to get behind the Capoletti block, but John left him, and he was eaten up, and it was Ralph McGill who hit him first.
Good lateral pursuit by the 49ers, and I think they actually throw him for about a half-a-yard loss here. Let's take a look at it from ground level.
McCutcheon was trying to stay behind Capoletti, but he left him.
He saw a lot of people out there, and he cut back in and didn't find any hole to get into. There's Harper on him. Good defensive play.
So it's third and goal, just about inside the San Francisco 5-yard line. This time Scales wide left and Jackson right. The backs are split. And Namath going to the air. Gets his protection. Into the corner, no good. And both 49ers were there to defend. Anthony Leonard and Ralph McGill. And the pass intended for Harold Jackson.
A crossing pattern. Good call down here by Joe. He has Terry Nelson wide open, doesn't see him. Trying to pick up Jackson this way. Comes across to Jackson, almost intercepted. Terry Nelson's all alone on the other side of the end zone.
So a good play by the 49ers to keep that ball down and Rafael Septien, who just kicked a 33-yard field goal a moment ago. They will spot the ball on the 12, so this will be a 22-yard field goal. His second attempt. And Septien has it through, but there's a penalty flag on the play. So hold everything. We'll see if it is 6-0 Los Angeles. The 49ers, Eddie Burns begins to applaud, so I have a feeling it is against Los Angeles.
Some offense infraction. Uh-oh. This could be a big one, 15 yards.
Personal foul.
Septien's been busy since he's been here, hasn't he? Well, they just picked him up right at the end, and he comes in, and he's been very active, and I think he's done an excellent job for him.
He is 3 out of 4 in field goals, 2 out of 3 in point after. He has kicked 3 of 6 kickoffs into the end zone, so he's making a name for himself.
Makes it a little different.
The personal foul against the Rams.
As a defensive line coach for the 49ers, and what a nice man Floyd Peters we had there.
You played with him, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Jack Youngblood, evidently guilty of the infraction, so they'll have to spot the ball at the 27. Now suddenly Septien is faced with a 37-yard field goal attempt. Bobbled, and he never got it away. In fact, it's short and picked up by Taylor, and he's out to the 10, grabbed by Nolan Cromwell and dribbled out of bounds at the 14-yard line of San Francisco. But the low snap, and they were unable to hold on to it, and the Rams have had all kinds of problems with that. So the penalty, the personal foul against Youngblood, took 3 points off the scoreboard. It remains Los Angeles 3, San Francisco nothing, 3:59 to go in the first quarter.
It's been a fast, kind of an error-free first quarter also. Not a lot of flags being thrown.
The ball just shy of the San Francisco 15-yard line. Washington is right, Lash left, and here comes Delvin Williams, and he gets it out to the 20-yard line. Jack Youngblood, along with Bill Simpson.
In the first quarter, Miami is leading Houston 14-0.
Jim Plunkett, the third Stanford quarterback to run a 49er club. Frankie Albert and John Brody preceded him. The third Heisman winner of the San Francisco. Before him, John David Crow and Steve Spurrier. So Plunkett trying to move his club down 3-0. Second down from the 20, a pitch back to Wilbur Jackson, and he is going to be driven out of bounds by Brodzinski. Brodzinski was battling Delvin Williams, and he just wouldn't give. That was too much to ask of Williams.
Brodzinski's really come in and done a fine job taking over for Kay. Was banged up a little bit, and he's going to be hard to get out of there now. In the fourth quarter, it's Minnesota 19, Green Bay 7.
Third and almost 4 for the 49ers. The ball on their own 21. That's Tom Mitchell, the tight end, suddenly going into a flex, and they put Washington inside Lash in a slot right. Plunkett going out to Lash, and he is given a lick immediately by Pat Thomas, knocked out of bounds at the 33, and that's good enough for a first down. So Jim Lash. By the way, the CBS Sports Spectacular for next Saturday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern, we'll be presenting, among other things, the United States Grand Prix from Watkins Glen.
And Nicky Lauda leads that field, and the only guy that has a chance to catch him is Jody Scheckter with only 2 races remaining.
And we'll see the Merrill Middleweight Karate Championship, the world's strongest men competition. First and 10 for the 49ers, their first down of the day. There's a little release to Wilbur Jackson. He's hit by Elmendorf, among others, at the 35-yard line, and a little second effort carries a couple of more.
Just a little safety valve pass here as he goes back. He wanted to go deep, couldn't find him. He finds Jackson uncovered. The linebackers had taken their drops. He just saved some yardage there, and good piece of running here. You see how a lot of people around the football there for the Rams.
So it is second down and about 5 for San Francisco. The ball on their own 37-yard line. Washington is left and Lash right. Mitchell is on the right side. A draw to Delvin Williams. It didn't work. And I believe there's a flag on the play.
Hey, maybe they caught a little holding in here. Looks like they did.
Yep.
was an awful delayed draw. Sometimes you like to get that ball to the up back on that draw play. It doesn't give the chance. You can see, let's take a look at this, and you can see maybe that how late this draw develops. He goes back, he passes up Jackson and goes all the way back to Williams, a deep man in the I formation. And the defensive linemen were controlling their blockers, and the play goes for naught. Seattle and Denver tied up 7 apiece.
The holding against the 49ers. So the Rams had a big personal foul penalty to deprive them of a field goal. We'll see now whether this holding penalty slows down Plunkett and the 49er offense. Last wide right and Washington left. The ball on the 49er 27-yard line. Plunkett, play action fake to Wilbur Jackson. He goes down the middle and it's broken up, almost intercepted by Jim Youngblood and Bill Simpson. There was a tie. Simpson you're looking at, and we'll take another look.
A lot of people around this ball here may not have got the correct read of the defense, because you see the closest people to the ball, Youngblood and Simpson, not the tight end Mitchell. Kind of forcing it a little bit. That's what happens on penalty plays. You get backed up on a penalty, the guy forced to make the big play happens to be the quarterback.
So the ball on the San Francisco 27-yard line, third down, and Plunkett faced with a passing situation now. He has to pick up about 16 yards in a hurry. Both backs come out, and Plunkett has to run for his life, and he escaped the trap. Throws deep to Tom Mitchell, and he got it between 2 men at the 45-yard line. Pat Thomas was the first man to take a shot at it, and Bill Simpson came over, but Tom Mitchell, the tough tight end, was able to bring it down. A big play.
What an escape and a great play by Jim Plunkett to come out of that, knowing people around you, and make a throw as he does to Mitchell. Big play. This is what the coaches were telling me yesterday. They said, Plunkett, I think he had an off night, because that team can make you look off when you play those Pittsburgh Steelers. He made 4 or 5 real big plays last week against Miami. He comes here and starts right out making a big one again.
Picked up 31 yards, 1st and 10 on the Ram 42-yard line. 3-0 Los Angeles. Play action fake to Williams, and Plunkett again to Gene Washington. To the 15, 10, and down to the Ram 6-yard line. Great reception by Gene Washington, and Plunkett is right on the money. He's 4 out of 5.
Caught him in a first down play. Good call by Plunkett, coming right back, throwing on first down. This is when you don't expect to get the double coverage on Gene Washington. It's only the 4th pass that the outside receivers have caught coming into this game. They'd only caught 3. Big play, and big play by Plunkett to come back. He showed a lot of poise and a lot of confidence on that.
1st and goal on the Rams 7-yard line. Plunkett previously had completed 9 out of 12 passes to running back. So he goes to Gene Washington to set it up. Delvin Williams behind a Jackson block. There's a flag on the play.
Oh, this is the kind of mistakes you don't want to make down here. Forces you back, then you have to come back and force that ball into coverage now. They're expecting you to. I want to hear this score. Listen to this thing. New Orleans 35, the Chicago Bears 10 in the 4th quarter. Unbelievable. Hank's got them going down there.
A holding penalty against the 49ers, so they have to bounce back from a second tough penalty, and the penalty was against the veteran Woody Peoples, 9 years of experience, out all last year with a bad knee, and he was caught holding. So it is 1st and 17. Plunkett with Washington left. Play action fake to Delvin Williams. A little flip to Williams. He's to the 10. Chased by Gay, and he gets down to the goal line. And they're going to spot it, I believe. Now they're calling touchdown.
He got in. Oh, good call again. Oh, what a piece of running, and an excellent call here. Little waggle action, go away from the roll. Plunkett comes back. Just a little short pass. But this is what this man does so well. Smells that goal line and gets in. Kind of bounced in, didn't he?
That's his first touchdown pass of the year. The other touchdown, Plunkett made it on a rush. Tom Whittam will now try to get the 49ers their 7th point. Kenny Harrison will spot the hold. It's down. The kick is up. There's a flag, however. The kick was no good. But now let's get an interpretation of the flag. Timeout for the moment.
I think you're going to get another shot at it.
Offside, Rams. So the 49ers have a chance again. The kick was no good. But the Rams offside, and so Whittem will have a second shot at it. Tom Whittem is 0 for 2 on point afters, but of course he hasn't had much practice this year yet.
You practice during the week, don't you? Hey, I think they lined up all sides defensively that time. Pat Thomas did.
Harrison will hold again, and we'll see if Whittem can get it through. 6-3 Rams, 6-3 49ers. The kick is partially blocked, but it goes through anyway. And the 49ers leading the Rams 7-3. We have 45 seconds left to go in the first quarter. The score, San Francisco 49ers 7, the Los Angeles Rams 3.
Every day you lose a little piece of yourself. More hair on brush and less on you. This is Protein 29 Conditioning Hair Groom. It can't do anything about the hair you're losing, but Protein 29 can do something about the hair you still have. Protein 29 actually adds protein to individual hair shafts. Helps your hair look thicker, fuller, healthier, more like it used to look. The more hair you're losing, the more you need Protein 29 Conditioning Hair Groom. It takes care of the hair that's still there.
When life's grind gets to you.
Mustang,
Mustang.
let a Mustang take you away.
Mustang, an exciting way to get from where you are to where you want to be with 4 on the floor and rack and pinion steering.
Mustang.
The 78 Ford Mustang 2 T-Roof Convertible.
Go Mustang.
So beat the grind. Go Mustang. A better idea from Ford.
Jack Youngblood trying to combat the 82-degree heat with a little oxygen, and the 49ers leading 7-3, kicking off down the right side. Jim Jodat had the ball skip by, and we will see. I don't believe he touched it, and he'll have to kick it over again. There's Jim Jodat, a youngster who had that, and of course he wears glasses, as you can see.
I wonder how he keeps them still on his head when he's running.
Yeah, very tough. He didn't touch it, and the ball just did go into the end zone. So they'll bring it out on the 20-yard line, where the Rams will put it in play with 38 seconds to go in the first quarter. And there's the 49ers scoring drive, 8 plays, and a couple of big ones by Jim Plunkett, one to Gene Washington, and the payoff play to Delvin Williams. Namath now trying to bring the Rams back. It's Lawrence McCutcheon behind Tom Mack and Doug French. And he's knocked out of bounds at the 25-yard line. And that's pretty good company. Doug French and Tom Mack pulling in front of you, son.
France has done an excellent job since coming back. Good blocker. And you can see McCutcheon just hiding behind him here, coming around. Mack, number 65, right in front. Boy, that'd be nice to run behind a wall like that, wouldn't it?
Mack, by the way, has a shoulder separation, but of course, you see, he's playing. So a pickup at 6, it'll be 2nd and 4. John Capoletti sees daylight and gets out to the 34-yard line. On the top is Willie Harper. On the bottom is Ralph McGill.
Again, running at Webb, they're finding of the defensive front 4, and this is not taking anything away from Jim Webb. He's probably the guy that stays at home the most. The rest of those players, Elam, Hardman, and Hart, really very active and all over the field. He's a kind of a stay-at-home type of tackle, and I think that's where they're trying to exploit offensively today.
Scales left and Harold Jackson right, and there's the gun. The first quarter is history, and that's the end of the first quarter here at Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum with the score. The San Francisco 49ers 7, the Los Angeles Rams 3.
The Ford in your future is coming. The new Ford Fairmont. A new car designed for today and the years ahead. Fairmont's mileage ratings are the same as a little VW Rabbit when both are equipped with automatic transmission. Yet Fairmont has 90% of the head, leg, and shoulder room of most large cars and fine all-around visibility. This kind of room is combined with the highest mileage in its class. Test drive Fairmont October 7th. Fairmont, the newest, better idea from Ford.
Cold night, Bob. Did you put in the Prestone antifreeze?
Prestone. Who needs Prestone?
Prestone. You need Prestone.
If your antifreeze is worn out or you don't have enough, you could be in trouble. So put in a fresh fill of Prestone, too, to prevent corrosion and freeze-ups.
Prestone! We need Prestone!
Prestone. You need Prestone.
Want to cut your fuel bills? Whether your house is new or old, put insulation everywhere. It can save you money. Your attic, you need a 6 to 12-inch blanket of pink Owens Corning fiberglass. Walls, full insulation. Unheated crawl space, insulate below the floor. Live where it's cold, insulate basement walls. See your Owens Corning fiberglass supplier to learn all about insulation. Insulation is cheaper than oil.
So we're ready to start the second quarter here at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. San Francisco leading Los Angeles 7-3. Sonny, you got some scores, huh?
Yeah, a couple of first quarter scores. Miami over Houston now 21-0 in the first quarter. Denver 10, Seattle 7. In the fourth quarter, Baltimore 17, Buffalo 14, New Orleans 35, Chicago 17.
Joe Namath first and 10 on the Ram 34. And it's Capoletti. Nowhere. Willie Harper came up to meet him head on. Interesting to mention a couple of numbers. Namath is 3 for 4 passing for 61 yards. Jim Plunkett is 5 for 6 for 100 yards and 1 touchdown passing.
It's good to see when both quarterbacks have a good feel for the throwing that day when you see a game like this, because both of them are throwing the ball accurately and picking out the receivers well.
Second and a long 8 on the 36. Play action fake to Capoletti, and Namath throws behind Lawrence McCutcheon. Willie Harper was defending. There was no chance on the play.
Joe did a pretty smart thing, and I think he threw that ball away because Harper had excellent coverage on McCutcheon. If he tries to get it to him, he's going to have it intercepted. He threw it low and behind him.
In the last 2 regular meetings, plus an exhibition between these two clubs, the 49ers have had 22 sacks. James Harris 10 times, Hayden 5, and in the exhibition this year, they got Namath 5 times and Hayden twice. Mike Burns comes in now. They take out Vanderbunt in the nickel defense. The 49ers looking pass. And that's what they're going to get from Namath. And he's over the middle, intended for Terry Nelson, no good. And Ralph McGill is right there. The same Ralph McGill who was taken off the field by ambulance last week with a neck sprain, and he's right back in there, and there's a flag on the play.
Yes, they caught him for holding, but I think they're going to refuse the penalty, but bring up the 4th down. They'll have to kick it away. Yes, he had a good shot at picking that thing off that time. The ball was out in front of McCutcheon, and if he gets it, he could still be running.
So Glenn Walker, a rookie who went to SC, so he is accustomed to punting here at the Coliseum. Kicking from his own 23-yard line. Gets his block and gets it away.
Oh, does he ever?
All alone is Rick Jennings, who takes it at the 8, but he's only all alone for a minute. A 46-yard punt and maybe a yard return.
Boy, he got all of that one.
So with 14 minutes and 5 seconds left to go in the second quarter, San Francisco 49ers 7, Rams 3.
When do you think Budweiser?
After a good bout on the lake with the water ski.
In about 2 minutes. And that's about, what, 120 seconds?
When do you say Budweiser?
When I'm fishing and when I finish fishing.
Right after I finish painting this van.
Whatever I can. On a hot day like today.
Before I go to bed.
When you say Budweiser,
Budweiser.
you said it all.
Who is the #1 investment firm in the East?
Who is the #1 investment firm in the Midwest? Who is the #1 investment firm in the South? Who is the #1 investment firm in the West? You know who. Merrill Lynch. All around America, more investors turn to Merrill Lynch than any other investment firm. Sure, there are lots of investment firms, but there's only one Merrill Lynch.
1st and 10 from the 49er 10-yard line. Plunkett has Gene Washington wide right and Jim Lash left. Mitchell, the tight end, on the left side. Wilbur Jackson backs across the 10 to about the 12-yard line. Jack Youngblood among others on the hit.
Last time the 49ers got the ball, they started on their own 15, and this time they start back on the 10. So that was an excellent drive they had the last time they had the ball.
It'll be 2nd and 8 on the 12.
Look at Freddie Dryer. Got by one man, going by another. I think you expend a lot of energy up there each play.
2nd and 8 from the 12. The 49ers out of the eye. Williams the deep back. And he's going to be the second man. He ran right by Jack Youngblood. Youngblood looking at his hands as if to say, where did he go? And Dave Elmendorf finally had to come up and hit him, but Youngblood beside himself.
Have another final. Minnesota beat Green Bay 19-7.
So they mark the ball on the 16-yard line. Now make it 3rd and 4 for the 49ers. Jim Plunkett and the 49ers leading the Rams 7-3. Washington left, Lash right. Plunkett gives to Jackson, and down he goes. And the play took a long time to develop, and Isaiah Robertson just leaped through the playbook and then made the tackle.
Looks like somebody blew their block here because nobody picked up Robertson. He just came straight across. Nobody there to block him. Somebody missed an assignment, and Jackson runs right into him. You can't have, again, 3rd down, crucial play for them to keep the ball, make a 1st down. Now it looks like they can either block this punt or get the ball in good field position.
So Tom Whittam will have to root the ball out of his end zone. And standing deep for the Rams, Billy Waddy, number 80, Cullen Bryant, number 32. That's a whistle on the play, and we'll spot the signal in a moment. Too much time, perhaps, against San Francisco.
The Rams doing a lot of jumping around defensively then, trying to make the offensive people move. A lot of teams do that. Trying to get them to move, and it worked because they took a little too much time, and they got to kick a little farther back in the end zone now.
The center, Randy Cross, is playing with a hip pointer. However, it is necessary for him to play, and this is a tough snap for him now. Good snap, and Whittam gets it away. It's going to be met by Cullen Bryant inside the 40-yard line, placed by J.L. Mitchell and Jim Obradovich, but he's free, and he's down to the 15-yard line, and Obradovich finally caught him from behind inside the 15.
What do we say about field position? They got the short kick, a low-line drive kick. You see him right here. Gets a good wall of blockers here. Balderson really gets wiped out. Mike Balderson was really blocked hard. Bryant coming around the... steps back in, takes it right down to the 15-yard line, about the 14, 13-yard line.
A 32-yard punt, a 25-yard return, and the Rams have it 1st and 10 on the San Francisco 13.
A quarterback's dream to start on the 13 going in.
The backs are split. Scales in on a wing just off the tight end Terry Nelson, and here's Capoletti inside the 10-yard line. Of course, that return was set up by somewhat of a line drive punt by Whittam. That just killed him.
Exactly. He kicked the ball very low, and that allowed the receiver to Bryant to get the ball, get into position where he wanted to, pick up his wall of blockers, and well, you like this as a quarterback. You'd like to start on the 15-yard line every time.
Capoletti picked up 5, so it's 2nd and 5 on the 49er 8-yard line. Capoletti again, but he is tripped, slowed down, and dragged down.
San Francisco doing a good job against the run, but they've had a little trouble getting a little pass rush on Joe. In the fourth quarter, New Orleans 42, Chicago 17.
3rd and 3. That's really a shocker.
Isn't it?
3rd and 3 for the Rams on the San Francisco 6-yard line. Namath to McCutcheon. He's in there. Oh, what a hole.
They trapped Elam. Take a look at it. Good trap by Tom Mack. And you see right there, a little quick opening trap up the middle. And was there ever a hole there? It may have anticipated pass and took an outside rush, which opens that thing up. 3rd and 3. Don't expect him to go right at the middle. Good call by Namath.
So it is 9-7 Rams. Raphael Septien trying to make it 10. Nolan Conwell the holder. And the kick is perfect. And so with 10 minutes and 38 seconds left to go in the second quarter, the score, Los Angeles 10, San Francisco 7.
You're coming in loud and clear. Must be a realistic CB radio.
TN4 good buddies, my new 40-channel realistic. Radio Shack's got it on sale right now for only $79. I save $60. Best deal I've made all year.
And realistic sure is a good brand.
TN4 on that, you can depend on realistic. They've been making them for 16 years.
The sale price 40-channel CB by Realistic. Only at Radio Shack. A Tandy company.
Take me away, lover. I'm yours. I don't go with married women. What are you doing in our Granada?
Granada? This is my Mercedes.
Hold tight. Didn't get into my Cadillac.
Cadillac, that's the Granada. Alone at last, beloved.
Beloved?
Where's my bride?
She got that Mercedes with another man.
Another man?
The new Ford Granada. One way to tell it from Cadillac or Mercedes is its sticker price. When America needs a better idea, Ford puts it on wheels.
Tomorrow night is Elvis night, as CBS invites you to see and hear Elvis in concert. Tomorrow at 8, 7 Central and Mountain.
Well, that's the story. With 10 minutes and 38 seconds left to go in the second quarter, Raphael Septien kicking off for the Rams from the 35-yard line, and it will go short of the end zone, and Rick Jennings picks it up on his 2 to the 15. Dragged down by Rod Phillips on a perfect tackle. Boy, did he lay it to him right there.
That's a no-no. He didn't follow his wall of blockers. He didn't follow the wedge. Went off freelancing on his own, and he got in a little trouble.
Watch Rod Phillips, number 39, just take him right out. No deception whatsoever.
The wedge goes up the right side. Right now, he's cutting away from his wall of blockers, and Phillips comes in and makes the tackle.
All right, the 49ers putting it in play. They're down 10-7. It's 1st and 10. The ball just shy of the 15-yard line. Plunkett with his club out of the eye. Jim giving to the second man, Delvin Williams. He runs over Larry Brooks, but he has to pay the tab for that, and down he goes.
Then in their last 3 possessions, we were talking earlier, they had it on the 15. They go 85 yards. They had it 10 the last time. A short punt got him in trouble and gave the Rams some points. They're starting back on the 15 again. Field position very important here in the first quarter, in the first half.
Prior to that running play, the 49ers had rushed for only 7 yards, and the Rams 56. So it's 2nd and 8 on the San Francisco 17. Plunkett going deep down the right side to Washington, and he's out of state. Pat Thomas there with him. I think Washington felt that he was pushed out of bounds. He'll get a lot of sympathy on that side of the field.
I'm sure. I tell you, he was open. He got behind him over there, and he had some room if the ball had been thrown downfield. You see Jim going back here, looking left, coming back, picking him out, but the ball pulls him out of bounds. You can see he's already off the field, and he hasn't been touched yet.
The Rams take out Bob Brzezinski now to load up the defensive backs. Rod Perry comes in. He's playing with a broken thumb. 3rd and 8 from the 17. Back staying in. Plunkett running for his life and looking. Unloads, no good. There wasn't anybody really in the vicinity, but Gene Washington was trying to come over to help out. But the Rams had broken through.
They went to the nickel defense, but they came with a blitz, and that's why he gets the immediate pressure. No place to go but outside and run for your life. He makes a good play by throwing the ball away. He doesn't get called for downing it, but you were right, Ben. There was nobody in 20 yards of it.
And again, the pressure on Tom Whittam. Remember, he kicked that line drive punt out of the end zone, and it set up the touchdown on the 25-yard return. He has a similar problem. He has Cullen Bryant and Billy Waddy standing on their 45. And this time, Tom gets a little height to it. It's Cullen Bryant standing on the Ram 40. Dave Williams can't get him. Neither can Dale Mitchell. But several others finally do as he crosses the 45.
We have a final. Dallas 23, Tampa Bay 7. That's 3 in a row for the Cowboys.
Dallas, of course, playing St. Louis. That's St. Louis next week in the doubleheader game. And a reminder, Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, we'll see the highlights of today's U.S. Grand Prix from Watkins Glen, the World Middleweight Full Contact Karate Championship, and the World's Strongest Men Competition, all coming up next Saturday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. First and 10 for the Rams on their own 46-yard line. Namath handing to McCutcheon. He's got Hara trying to block, and Hara couldn't do it. Anthony Leonard, number 42, fought off the block, and Ralph McGill finally put the seal on it.
He makes good force. This is what you want from a cornerback. Coming up, playing off the blocker, stringing the play out, allowing the pursuit to come. And you can see him right there, ducking his head and just keeping McCutcheon right where he wants him, keeping him on the football field. Makes a good play.
Well, a good play by Anthony Leonard. That makes it 2nd and 8 for the Rams on their own 48-yard line. It's 10-7 in favor of Los Angeles. 8:50 to go in the second quarter. Namath looking right, and that's where his man McCutcheon is at the 45-yard line, but there's a flag on the play.
Not one, but two.
Tom Hart and Cedric Hartman are back there, and we'll see now about penalty.
We're going to get a holding call. We got to have a holding call here. Hart went around his man, and Williams just stuck out an arm and grabbed him. Boy, and that Donnybrook down in New Orleans, 42-24 now.
Gee, Chicago must have been crushed after last week's game, and they just don't have it. Tough to come back.
Yeah, it is. And they've lost Chambers, too. That hurts them.
Offensive holding against John Williams and also Dennis Hara, I believe, both holding at the same time. So that's back on the Ram 38-yard line. It'll make it 2nd and 18. Jackson wide left. Scales is on a wing outside Terry Nelson, the tight end. John Capoletti going outside Tom Mack, and he immediately runs into a crowd. Elam was the first man to get his arms on him as he tried to go outside Tom Mack, and he was exposed.
Coming up with a 3rd and very long. This is the kind of situation where the quarterback looks over to the bench and wants a little help in calling this play. And I can recall turning to the bench and looking at Lombardi. And I came off the field. I said, "You didn't give me a call." And he says, "I didn't get you in that position. You got to get out of it yourself."
Well, Billy Waddy is going to try and help him get out as Terry Nelson comes out. Waddy is wide left, and Scales in the slot inside Jackson. Namath getting pressure from Hart. Unloads too far. Flags on the play. Intended for Dwight Scales.
He could have a little pass interference here. A little pass interference. Two calls,
yeah. Looks that way.
Well, the Rams had 2 penalties the last time, too. 2 holding calls.
Namath 3 for 7 for 61 yards. And the 49ers being penalized. So, of course, that's the biggest break for the Rams. It moves the ball across midfield and into 49er territory. There was roughing the passer charged against Cleveland Elam, and there was also holding. That's a compound fracture, Sonny.
Compound fracture. It's a first down. That's what's important to the Rams.
First and 10, and they have the ball on the 49er 47-yard line. It's John Capoletti across the 45. Nothing really fancy, trying to follow a John Williams block, and Willie Harper wasn't too fancy. He just came up and knocked him down.
When Dennis Harrah really did a job that time on Webb. Good block against Webb then.
The ball on the 42-yard line, so a pickup of about 5.5, so make it second and a long 4. 10-7 Rams. Namath at the control, 7:23 to go in the second quarter. Namath got out of the trap, and down he goes at the 35-yard line. He had one eyeball look at Skip Vanderbunt, and Vanderbunt would have tried to knock him in the stands, and Joe went dive, dive, dive.
And the people love it. Take a look at it. Going back. I can't believe this. Namath the Scrambler. Look, is that graceful?
And Vanderbilt saying, why didn't you stand on your feet for just one more second?
What does he get for the degree of difficulty?
Well, Joe is alive and well and living in Los Angeles. First and 10 on the San Francisco 35-yard line. And this time it's McCutcheon looking for daylight, and he gets to about the 32, and they bend him every which way.
Here's an example of where Coach may have sent in a pass play. If talking about calling the plays from the bench, he may have sent in a pass play, but the quarterback, I know Namath is winded from that run because he's used to swimming. He's not used to running, right?
What about your running game?
I can tell you a funny story about getting knocked through a pile of people, and we get a chance, I'll tell you.
Okay. Second down. The ball on the San Francisco 31. It's Capoletti. Wrapped up and got away from Hart, but in wiggling, he was hit from the side by Harper and McGill. Little second effort by Capoletti. He has carried 11 times for 31 yards.
We're playing the Colts one day, and I dart back through on the 33-yard line.
You dart back?
Dart. Well, it was just... You picked that right up, didn't you?
Right away. Funny enough. We'll get to your dart in a moment, but it's 3rd and 4 from the 29. Namath getting a block from Mack. He throws low, no good on the pass play intended for Dwight Scales, and there's a flag on the play. Cleveland Elam might very well have jumped off.
He changed the count on him in that unrhythmic cadence that they have. He went to a longer count. They anticipated it, and he called him up. Pull him offside.
Against Cleveland, Elam 72.
It's a good time to do that, too, because they had 3rd and less than 5. You go to a longer count, and it worked for him.
So they have 1st and 10 on the San Francisco 24-yard line. Jackson left. Scales just off the tight end. Terry Nelson. And here's McCutcheon across the 30 to the 15-yard line. And McCutcheon had Dave Washington, Mel Phillips, and he still kept going until Ralph McGill hit him nose guard to nose guard.
Working right up the middle again. He may be trying to take advantage of Vanderbunt a little bit, too, because of his inexperience playing the middle linebacker position. Here you see it from the end zone. Oh, what good blocking at the point of attack there. And you see a diving tackle coming back in. Good hustle.
2nd and about 1. And it's Capoletti. And a flag on the play. Willie Harper hit him. And Ed Gallagher had him at the ankles. Flag down.
New Orleans 42, Chicago 24. That's the final. Rams' next opponent, huh? The Bears.
And now this word from Hank Strand.
It'll be smarting.
25-yard line. Namath trying to get his club on the board, leading 10-7. Go looking right, and then down the middle to McCutchen, inside the 15-yard line, falls to about the 13-yard line. Willie Harper and Skip Vanderbund combining to make the tackle.
Excellent pattern, a good possession-type pass. McCutchen comes out, makes a little outside move. You see Joe reload, and it's because McCutchen went back inside on him.
So it's 1st and 10. The ball just inside the San Francisco 14-yard line. Namath is 4 for 8 and 72 yards. And he bumps into Capoletti, and now John has to pay for it. So did you get hit that way by one of your own backs once in a while, Sonny?
They would have run right straight over me in that situation. You know, and he actually picks up a couple of yards on it. Look at this. It's just a mix-up, and where do I go from here? Don't run over me. Find somebody else to run over.
So they actually gain 2 yards on the play. Make it 2nd and 8. The ball on the 11-yard line of San Francisco. 3:24 in the second quarter, and the Rams leading 10-7. Scales right, Jackson left. McCutchen, the deep man on the right, inside the 5, down to the 2-yard line. Dave Washington has him by the shoulders. Ralph McGill had him by the ankles.
And again, the same place they've been working, straight up the middle. Really getting some good blocking there. Tom Mack.
So it'll be 1st and goal, and they'll spot the ball on about the San Francisco 3-yard line, and they bring in the heavyweights now. Terry Nelson on one side, Charlie Young on the other, along with Dwight Scales. McCutchen behind a Capoletti block, but he couldn't get to the zone. Mel Phillips taking a lick from Dwight Scales, where there was Phillips and McGill.
Looked like he had a little opening here to begin with. Couldn't quite get in.
So it is 2nd and goal. The ball on the San Francisco 1-yard line. 10-7 in favor of Los Angeles. 2 minutes and 19 seconds to go in the second quarter. Still the 2 tight ends, Nelson and Young, along with Scales, and time called by Los Angeles. Joe Namath with 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go. He had 10 seconds before the 2-minute warning, Sonny. This gives us a chance. Let's get back to your dart.
I'll change that from dart to waltz.
Okay, what happened?
We're playing against the Baltimore Colts, and go back to throw. Couldn't find anybody, and I found a big opening on the left-hand side. It was in Washington. I start back through the hole and very slowly, waiting for someone to knock my head off. I kept moving down the field. I see the 2 people closing in on me, and the linebacker's coming to get me. And all of a sudden, just as I get down close to about the 15-yard line, I know I'm going to get wiped out, and I go into the 2 defensive backs, and Dennis Golbatz, the middle linebacker, hits me in the fanny, knocks me through the 2 people trying to tackle me. I come out staggering on the other side and go 15 yards untouched, a 33-yard run, the longest run from scrimmage all year for us.
No wonder you are the one and only number 9 in Washington.
They had to get the respirator to get me back to the bench.
Well, if you weren't with us, the reason Sonny is telling us it was because of Joe Namath, who actually ran with the ball today for a couple of yards and then hit the dirt to escape Skip Vanderbund. Namath picked up 7 yards, and they'll send that to the Hall of Fame.
Let's see if he'll take it in. You think he'll call his own play here?
I doubt it. 2nd and 1 from the San Francisco 1. McCutchen and Capoletti. Capoletti, touchdown. John Capoletti bangs it over. So the Heisman Trophy winner of 1973 rushes for a touchdown from 1 yard out.
Right over the top. Right over the top and gets it in. Good drive by the Rams. And of course, again, a lot of it, besides running up that middle, good passing, good play calling. Joe Namath.
Now, Raphael Septian from Mexico City went to school at Southwest Louisiana. The Rams heard about him from Billy Cannon. And it is paying off. The little guy is right on the money again. And so, with 2 minutes and 7 seconds left to go in the second quarter. Rams 17, San Francisco 7.
One little fender bender, and I'll probably lose half a day chasing down estimates.
You don't have to chase estimates with Allstate.
I don't?
Not with Allstate's drive-in claim centers. We take care of the estimate, and we can settle up on the spot.
Just a couple more minutes.
Allstate has hundreds of drive-in locations, so you don't have to chase estimates.
What a difference.
When it takes being different to be better,
Why?
Allstate will do it.
That's a promise from us, the good hands people.
Inside this new Firestone radial tire is an improved steel cord with 5 million miles of developmental testing. Where once we used 5 strands, we now use 10 strands of steel. 7, around 2, wrapped by 1. A cord construction so important, Firestone named the tire for it. 7, 2, 1. The new steel-belted radial 721. Now, from Firestone.
What is that stuff?
Haze. Flown in especially for this game and telecast to discourage permanent visitors. Septien gets his foot into this one. Jennings in the end zone, and Rick's going to run it out. To the 15, 20, bumps into his own man, and is bombed down by Eckern. Carl Eckern really nailed him. There have been a couple of big hits, the other one by Rod Phillips on kickoff. Take another look. Rick Jennings.
He's getting up very slowly. Look at him. He's still down. He really took a hit because he was spinning. Watch him as he spins on this run, trying to avoid being tackled. He comes up the right side, follows his wedge well this time. Maybe that's the reason he didn't follow the wedge last time.
Well, we've got the 2-minute warning, and the Rams are leading the 49ers 17-7.
Announcing the new 1978 Ford Bronco. It's the first four-wheeler that puts it all together with things like a big cube 351 V8 standard, front quad shock option, part-time four-wheel drive with optional automatic, rear footwell, flip-fold rear seat option, side support buckets, and more. The all-new Bronco. It's the total four-wheeler. For toughness, for comfort. Compare it to any four-wheeler anywhere.
Are you still chained to? Gotcha. The rechargeable Norelco rotary razor lets you walk away, free from nicks and cuts. Its 36 surgical steel rotary razor blades are safely protected inside 3 floating heads to give you a comfortable shave that's razor close, razor smooth, for up to 3 weeks on a single charge. The rechargeable Norelco rotary razor. It lets you walk away from gotcha.
With 1 minute and 58 seconds left to go to the half, the Rams leading the 49ers 17-7, and Jim Plunkett's crew in possession of the ball, 1st and 10 on their own 22-yard line. Jim Plunkett so far 5 for 8 and 100 yards with 1 touchdown, a beauty to Delvin Williams after a big setup on a big pass to Gene Washington. So we'll see now what Plunkett can do with 1:58 to go to the half. He has Gene Washington left, Jim Lash right. And he releases to Wilbur Jackson behind a screen with Peebles out in front. And he gets across the 25 to about the 28. Woody Peebles was trying to set up a screen, and Dave Elmendorf got through.
Clock working against him here. See it ticking down. Almost 1.5 minutes left. As the final, Baltimore 17, Buffalo 14.
So a pickup of 6. It's 2nd down and a long 3, almost 4 from the 28. Washington right and Lash left. A little bit of a draw out of Wilbur Jackson, but it didn't work. And the reason, Jack Youngblood was right there.
Well, Youngblood really got off on the ball and got good penetration. And he was around his man so quickly that he was able to come back in and pick up the delay.
Timeout, San Francisco.
The thinking there, Ben, was you had 2nd and less than 5. Just try to get the 1st down and then go back to throw again and try to pick up the big yardage, even get in field goal or get a score here. But Youngblood made the big defensive play.
There you see Kenny Myers talking to Jim Plunkett. Among other things, Meyer, 4 years, Ram offensive coordinator. Years ago, in 1968, he was the San Francisco offensive back coach under Dick Nolan. He also worked with the New York Jets in 1969 when Namath was there. And to go way back, he also worked at Alabama under Paul Bryant, and his #1 protege was Joe Namath. And now here's Kenny Myers, who's had such a fine career along with Joe, and they're head-to-head against each other, and his hopes are resting on Jim Plunkett. Kenny is 52, out of Erie, Pennsylvania. He was a quarterback, and he's talked to Plunkett, and we'll see what develops with 1 minute and 15 seconds left to go in the second quarter, and the Rams leading the 49ers 17-7. Big play for Plunkett now. He's going to have to hold on to the ball. 3rd down, and he has about 4. Delvin Williams. But he just runs into a crowd, gets across the 30, and there'll be a timeout called immediately. And it'll be 4th down.
Didn't understand that call. Didn't understand that call.
Ultra conservative, I guess.
Oh, that's giving it back to the Rams. Can use some timeouts. They got some timeouts left. They got 1 minute and 10. They got a lot of time. They're going to get pretty good field position here. They got time to get on the board before the half.
By the way, the Ram rushing game, with 1 minute to go in the half, they have rushed for 5 yards. And, of course, it's amazing. The 49ers for 5 yards, and Plunkett has passed for 106. So it's amazing that although the 49ers have not established any running game, that Plunkett has passed as well as he has.
That's what makes that last call a little more unusual.
That's Tom Whittam drying his hands, and that's Billy Waddy waiting to get his hands on the pigskin. The Rams trying to confuse the 49ers, almost got away. The end-over-end kick across the 35. Waddy has it and spins across the 40 and goes down on about the 43. Those Ram linemen jumping up the way they did, that's really got to upset some young ball players.
It really does. That's one reason the punting teams are standing up now instead of going down in the three-point stance, because you can't move it from that three-point stance in the punting position, and that's what they do. They try to make you move by all that movement. They came very close to blocking that one, forced another bad punt out of Whittam.
So the Rams take over 1st and 10 on their own 43-yard line. They have a minute left to go in the second quarter, and the Rams are leading 17-7. And Namath is going for money, and he is sacked. Cedric Hardman hit him immediately, and that's the first Hardman sack of the day. He came in here with over 88 sacks in his career.
Joe going back here, he goes with a 5-man pattern, which really cuts down on your protection, and that's why he gets hit. Oh, you know, this is the worst place to get it, too, because you don't have any eyes back there. When the man comes from behind you, you kind of sense that he's back there before when he gets over your shoulder. That's where you dislike it the most.
There's Cedric Hardman picking up the sack. 49ers sacked Namath 5 times in the exhibition series. 2nd and 22, and they decide to go to Cappelletti. So with 29 seconds to go, they figure, hold everything. We have tried our gamble and failed, and we'll just punch it into the line.
Yeah, I think they may not even run another play here.
Joe Namath, 4 for 8 and 72 yards.
They're going to have to. They call timeout on him.
With 26 seconds, and I see you have a score.
A little second period score. San Diego 7, Cincinnati 3. It's a little unusual. They have a lot of offensive weapons down in San Diego, don't they?
They do indeed, as long as they stay healthy. And, of course, there's a considerable amount of conversation here in Los Angeles about their quarterback, namely James Harris.
As Harris, with people like Rogers and Washington and Young, boy, he's got some weapons down there.
Well, it's 3rd and 19 for Joe Namath and the Rams, and they're leading by 10. 26 seconds to go to the half. Namath had been passing for 50% coming into the game, and that's exactly where he is today, 4 out of 8.
I think also with Joe calling the plays now, after the first game where Knox called the plays or the bench called the plays, they're throwing more on first down, like 58% of the time instead of, running 58 instead of 75% run on first down.
Well, we'll see what he does now. Third and about 19 with 26 seconds to go to the half. And it's McCutcheon with Mack and Doug France blocking, and he got across the 40. France opening up the hole for him at the line of scrimmage.
Bringing in their punting team.
He moved it to the 40. And now Glenn Walker, who had a great punt earlier, a 49-yard punt. And Glenn Walker will be in there to do it.
49 has called a timeout here. They want to make sure they either they're going to go after this thing and try to block it, try to set up a return. This is like an offensive play for them.
Rick Jennings is okay after being shaken up the last time. He's standing on his own 20-yard line. And you can see 19 seconds to the half. 17-7 in favor of the Rams, and Glenn Walker standing on his own 26-yard line. There's Rick Jennings standing on his 18. And they're coming. Lewis trying to get close. What a kick. Jennings at the 15, and is dropped immediately by Pat Thomas, number 27. So little Pat went flying down to administer the hit, a 45-yard punt, and no return.
We had excellent hang time on that. The number of seconds that ball stays up in the air, he had to go about 4.7 on that.
So we have 11 seconds left to go, and here's the hit again. Pat Thomas applying it to Rick Jennings.
He didn't get a chance to take a step, did he?
He's taken some nasty whacks. He was cut by Tampa Bay, picked up for his speed, but he hasn't had a chance to use it. Plunkett with 11 seconds, and it's Delvin Williams. Jack Youngblood, a high grab up around the neck to spin him back in where the rest of the blue could get him. And the seconds have run out. It's halftime here at the Los Angeles Coliseum. The Rams are leading the 49ers 17-7. The 49ers have won 2 of the last 3 meetings. In fact, the 49ers in the last 10 years have beaten the Rams 4 times, and all 4 times here at the Coliseum. Overall, however, the Rams hold 33-19, and there were 2 ties.
Yeah, the game started out then in the first quarter. You would think that you were looking at it like Plunkett was going to open up today and really come out throwing. He made the big play to Mitchell on a scramble, came right back on a first down call and hit Washington, and he had them going, and they go in and get a touchdown to take the lead, but then they got kind of conservative there in the second quarter, that I thought, because they haven't had any success running the ball. They've only got about 10 yards rushing. And you really would think that, I would think at halftime they're going to say, look, we're going to have to put it up a little more. We're down now. We don't want to get way down because you don't want that defensive line to tee off on him and come, but he's going to have to put it up a little more in the second half.
The Ram offensive line has done an excellent job, and one of the battles that is halfway determined would be the front 4 of San Francisco trying to sack Joe Namath. And as you saw, Hardman finally got him, but that was the only sack. And we did see Namath a couple of times escape the jaws of the 4, and one time we saw him on that rather memorable scramble.
Was that, you call that a scramble? Was that actually a run?
I'm not sure quite what it was, but I know one thing. He knew exactly where Skip Vanderblunt was, and as soon as Vanderblunt got close, why, Joe decided to hit the ground. It was one of the highlights. In fact, you figure that's going to be in the Ram highlights?
Got to be in the highlights of the. Instead of a scramble, you could call it a stumble.
One thing for both the 49ers and the Rams being in the same division, figuring to be 1 and 2. This is a very important ball game. And for the 49ers, they had just about as bad an exhibition season as the Rams. They opened up and lost badly to an excellent team. The Rams opened up and lost badly to a team that didn't figure to beat him. The Rams beat Philadelphia, and everybody says, so what? That's the only team you have beaten. The 49ers showed a flicker of life in losing to Miami, and as you pointed out now, Plunkett throwing well for 100 yards and a touchdown. I would think that Kenny Myers and Jim Plunkett and the 49ers are going to have to take the wraps off and gamble some because they're down by 10 now.
They got to, and as you pointed out, it's the importance of this game because they go down like 3 games in their division. by losing this game, and they don't want to drop 2 games down to the Rams, because if they're going to be contenders for the Western Division in the NFC, this is an important game for them.
And the 49ers, when you look at the schedule, after they play the Rams, Sonny, they start playing Atlanta, not a bad ball club. Then the New York Giants, Detroit, Tampa Bay, Atlanta again, New Orleans. So they have a string of games they could conceivably win. That's what makes this one so important.
Certainly is.
So it's halftime, 17-7 Rams.
Schlitz Light. Schlitz Light beer has a third fewer calories than our other fine beer, and all the taste beer drinkers expect from Schlitz.
Is that what he always drinks? Yep, it's his beer. It's the only light beer with gusto. Oh, yeah?
Schlitz Light. Beer drinkers know it took Schlitz to bring the taste to light.
Excuse me, do they serve clams here?
No, and they don't serve turkeys either.
Pardon, monsieur. It's your clothes. You'd look better in Hager slacks. Or a Hager sport coat and slacks. Even a Hager vested suit. A variety of outfits at prices that are easy to swallow. Voilà, monsieur. Table for one?
Make that a table for 2.
Hager, because looking good makes you feel good.
Should have bought Mobil 1. The oil that saves you gas, you know.
Should have bought Mobil 1. Helps you start at 35 below.
Should have bought Mobil 1. Engine temperature hits 500. You're cool.
Should have bought Mobil 1. You only change it every 15,000 miles.
Mobil 1, the oil that does it all. Take it from an expert.
I want that man now. He will come back here tomorrow with me. You have my word.
Oh, Daniel, when are you going to learn?
A settler's betrayal turns the Indians against Daniel Boone. Now he must prove himself in a savage Cherokee trial or die. Young Daniel Boone, Tuesday night at 8, 7 Central and Mountain.
Next Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, CBS Sports Spectacular presents highlights of the U.S. Grand Prix from Watkins Glen. Live coverage of the World Middleweight Full Contact Karate Championship with Bill Superfoot Wallace defending his title against Pat Worley. And the World's Strongest Men competition featuring the Steel Bar Bend contest. That's next Saturday at 4:30.
The score 17-7 here at halftime in Los Angeles. Our halftime guest is the Vice President and General Manager of the 49ers, Joe Thomas. Joe, what about your observations in the staff?
Well, you know, we looked a little better than we have. Plunkett's thrown the ball quite well, I think, in the first half, and he made 2 big plays, as you saw there, and we got the ball in there for a score, and this is very important for us. Our offense has not been moving the ball as well as we liked, and I was glad to see him move the ball somewhat in the first half.
The running game has to be a disappointment to you here in the first half, though. I think right before the half, the 2-minute warning, they rushed for something like 5 yards. That's unusual with the caliber of runners that you have.
Well, you know, last year they ran the ball well, and we have not, for some reason, obtained the same running game as we had last year. And what it is, I don't know. And, of course, when you're not the coach, you don't know. But we have to get that thing going along with Plunkett's passing. As I said, Plunkett threw the ball a couple times, which pleased me very much the first half.
Now, I have to talk with you, Joe, now that I have the chance to. A man that has been building winning football teams and noted for that more so than anybody in football. Starting back with the Vikings in 1960, then to Baltimore, on to Miami, and now San Francisco. Has the method of building a winning football team changed?
No, it isn't, Sonny. The whole thing is a draft. If you do the right job in a draft, then you're going to build a winning football club. I know some people say, look, some clubs win all the time despite the draft. It's not the draft, it's the people who are picking who makes the difference. The draft is there for you to build a football club. So this is where you have to start. You have to do the right job there and then go from that particular spot. Of course, the big thing and the key, you always got to come up with a quarterback. And as you know, the quarterback is the key to all football clubs as far as I'm concerned. And each place I've been, we are fortunate with Tarkenton and Greasy and Bert Jones. And now we hope that Plunkett can come along and do the job for us here.
You know, you talk about Jim Plunkett coming. By obtaining, Jim Plunkett, you lose an awful lot of draft choices when you're trying to build and rebuild through the draft, aren't you?
That's right. Of course, you know, we lost 3 first rounds and a second-round pick for Jim, and that's what's important for him to get the job done for us, and which we're looking for him to do. You know, if you do the right job, as I said before, in Baltimore, you can take an example there. We had some high picks. We got Bert Jones and a Joel Ehrman and John Dutton, Roger Carr and Cook and Barnes. These were all first and second round picks. You see, we built a defensive line. We have a fine receiver there, and I say we, and also the quarterback. And again, the quarterback is the key to the whole thing.
What will the San Francisco 49ers go to and look for in their next draft?
Well, it's hard to say. In first place, I never like to say anything because I think it hurts the player who's playing that particular position anyway. But we have a lot of time since you're drafting way in May and to make up our minds, and then you have a lot of time to make trades and whatnot. But trades are also important to come through with 1 or 2 big trades each year.
Joe, thank you for stopping by, and good luck to the 49ers the rest of the season.
Thank you.
We'll be back right after this message.
Bender.
Is BJ a medical imposter? That's the rumor started by a practical joker on MASH, Tuesday at 9, 8 Central and Mountain on CBS.
It's halftime here at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum in 82-degree weather, and the Los Angeles Rams leading San Francisco 17-7. The confrontation between Joe Namath and the great front four of San Francisco. Here are some scores, as you can see, and there's a great start for that one.
Kilmer to Frank Grant for a 12-yard pass, and defense has got to be playing there. Washington 7, St. Louis nothing.
And for St. Louis, trying to stay alive for a big game with Dallas next week.
Pittsburgh got untracked and finally came back and came from behind to beat Cleveland 28-14.
I guess I was asking too much of Cleveland to come up with 2 magnificent efforts and upsets, however you want to call it. And to ask them to beat Pittsburgh today was almost a miracle.
And they have Oakland next week.
Great.
21-7, Miami leading Houston in the 3rd period. Greasy has thrown a couple of touchdown passes in that one.
Interesting about Bob Greasy having that double vision trouble, and apparently he is able to survive the problem, and it must be a very difficult one.
He's gone to the shades, hasn't he? A little, some glasses that he's using now, and they seem to be effective for him. Atlanta 17, New York 3, a final. Atlanta, I tell you, they've been impressive every week. Saw them last week. We did the first 2 games, and a mistake-free club. They're really playing good football, and you have to admire what the coach has done to go in there and take that club and turn it around that way.
And, of course, for Atlanta to win is bad news for San Francisco because they're all in the same division, and Atlanta, having already beaten the Rams, they're hanging tough.
And this, what
That's a shocker.
Donnybrook, this was 42-24. Pardee having some trouble stopping anybody, and, of course, Wally Chambers, their great defensive tackle, is injured. Not sure if he played today. Have no reports on that. I didn't think he was going to play. But Hank Stram, you really have to congratulate him, 42-24 over the Bears.
He was saying that he had plenty of good backs and an offense. It was a question of whether his defense would hold up. And, of course, there was a battle of offense, and it held up.
If you can score that many points, you don't need defense.
How about this one?
Well, they trailed in this game 7-0, and they come back to Minnesota, comes back to win it 19-7, and they just put it together when they have to, and they do what they have to win. What was it, 9-3 over Tampa Bay last week?
That's right. I guess another unspectacular victory, but of course that's where the payoff is. Never mind the adjective.
Oh, boy, this was a close one, 17-13. Philadelphia still having trouble offensively. Jaworski was out. He got hurt today, banged up a knee, could be out indefinitely, and Detroit goes on to win that one 17-13.
And of course, Philadelphia coming off a shutout here. They went down 20-0 against the Rams. So then coming back, I wonder when Jaworski was hurt, how many points they had on the board. Do you remember?
I'm not sure. Baltimore 17, Buffalo 14. A lot closer than a lot of people thought. Baltimore has scored a lot of points against Buffalo. Buffalo's defense must have fared down a little bit today.
And there's another final, the New York Jets upsetting New England 30-27. That fits as a shocker.
New England having a lot of problems internally on the team with John Hanna and Leon Gray being out. And this has been a little tough for them. And you see another final there. Dallas made it 3 in a row, 23-7 over Tampa Bay.
So those are the scores that we have at halftime of the Coliseum. The Rams leading the 49ers 17-7.
Where does your money go after you put it in your bank? Well, some of it's right here, building your neighborhood, construction loans and home mortgages, but also with municipal bonding, money for your public parks, and money for your schools. Today, America's banks have over $80 billion invested in communities like yours. So if you believe in your community, there's no better place to put your money than your bank. America's bankers, helping you change things for the better.
Ever get the feeling that you wanted to cut out?
Go home, Mustang. Mustang. Let a Mustang take you away.
Mustang, an exciting way to get from where you are to where you want to be with staggered shocks and front disc brakes. Mustang. The 78 Ford Mustang 2 Ghia. What are you waiting for?
Go Mustang.
So cut out. Go Mustang. A better idea from Ford.
This football trophy is made of coal. It commemorates a team of miners called the Pottsville Maroon. Back then, the ball was fatter, not much different than the helmet, a piece of old leather. You went 60 minutes in a shirt and shoes, anybody's. Today's sleeker football is made for passing, and colorful uniforms cover a lot more protection. Football has come a long way, and it's all here waiting for you with the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. Don't miss it.
I'm Fran Tarkenton of the Minnesota Vikings. Now, there are guidelines which help quarterbacks make good decisions. There are also guidelines which can help young people make a responsible decision about alcohol. And we've produced them on this colorful poster, which you can receive by writing Education Commission of the States, Box 687, Denver, Colorado, 80201. Making a responsible decision about alcohol is one call we should all be able to make.
The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service by the National Football League. The Rams leading the 49ers 17-7. The Rams controlling the ball and rushing better than 2-1. However, the 49ers down in points trying to play catch-up, and they have gone over that line so that they're just about ready to pass more than run, and that's very dangerous territory. There's the numbers on the first half, Sonny.
The big difference has to be in the rushing yardage here right before the halftime, before the 2-minute warning. They had only 5 yards, San Francisco did, rushing, and they gained that other 9 or 10 yards rushing there right at the end. But that is a big difference, the way that the L.A. defense has been able to shut down the rush.
And, of course, how they're going to change that in the second half, you as a quarterback know when you're behind and you are forced to put the ball in the air, it's very tough to be successful.
They disregard the rush. If they know you're going to get away from it, you try to run play action, and they know you're not running any place, so they can disregard that. And that's what makes it more difficult to throw the ball. Everything else kind of even. Namath 4 out of 8, and Plunkett 6 out of 9. Pretty close there all the way. No interceptions, no turnovers.
For the 49ers, they could use a lift right now, and Paul Hofer going deep, number 36, up in front of him. He has Dave Williams along with Bob Farrell and Rafael Sepien ready to kick off on the 35. And here we go, the start of the third quarter, 17-7 Rams. And here comes Paul Hofer from the 1 to the 15, 20, 25, 30. To the 35 and across the 35. Rick Nuzum, one of 2 Rams to hit him, so it's a fine return by Paul Hofer. Nolan Cromwell at the bottom of the play, and that's just what they needed, some kind of a big play to get started.
Little spark, and I think they're going to have to be a little more wide open, like you talked about during the halftime there. Plunkett's going to have to come out, get the ball to some of those wide receivers.
1st and 10 on the San Francisco 37-yard line. Lash is left, Washington right. Williams and Jackson behind Plunkett. And he's going to the air, 1st down. Got it to Williams. And Jackson is to the 45 and to the 40-yard line. Wilbur Jackson finally brought down by Bill Simpson. And there they go, passing on first down.
First down throw. They went to their passing set. He goes back, wants to go outside. You see him looking here. Comes back, and does he ever thread a needle to Jackson? Right between Elmendorf, Simpson gets it right through there. And now the good run by Jackson down. Big play.
First and 10, just inside the Ram 40-yard line. Washington right and Lash left. Tom Mitchell, the tight end, on the left side. Play action fake to Delvin Williams, and then Plunkett releases to Williams. He's trying to outrun Isaiah Robertson along with Jim Youngblood, and as he tries to get away from those two, he's hit by a third, Bob Brzezinski.
Another little play action first down from the I formation this time. Kind of rolling, just hits a little check down. That's the one he used in the first quarter, a check down, this time off of a different formation. Williams ran it in the last time he hit him with this. Didn't have a lot of running room this time. Good play call.
Second and 5, the ball inside the Ram 35-yard line. Lash left, Washington right to the same formation. He backs out of the I. And Plunkett a quick out to Washington, and down he goes inside the 30. And Pat Thomas right there on top of him.
That's 3 for 3.
So Gene Washington, another reception. That's his second. He had 35 yards on the first one. And Gene Washington still figures to be a most important part if there to be a 49er comeback. Usually he is double teamed, and they tell me that's one reason why they brought Rick Jennings to the club, trying to get some more speed and get one man off his back.
Yes, they must feel that the speed of Jim Lash hasn't been what they expected, or maybe he's heard of something, but getting so much double coverage on Gene Washington that it's affecting their passing game somewhat. They've got to put a threat on the other side to force people to honor that other side.
There's Jim Plunkett. The names of Plunkett and Washington certainly went together at Stanford. When Gene Washington was in his senior year, he caught 71 Plunkett passes for 8 touchdowns. So they go together. First and 10 on the Ram 29. Wilbur Jackson behind and goes outside Delvin Williams, and he gets to about the 27-yard line. Williams was fighting Youngblood, and Pat Thomas made the hit.
First running play for them. Other 3 plays were passes coming out here, so they have changed their philosophy a little bit here, trailing 17-7 in the third quarter.
Wilbur Jackson is really a converted halfback playing at fullback, and he doesn't run as well with Williams blocking as Williams does with Jackson blocking, that's for sure. Oh, second and 8 on the 27. They picked up 2. Pitch back to Delvin Williams with Jackson in front. He takes out Elmendorf, and that springs him. A beautiful block from Wilbur Jackson, and he'll take Dave Elmendorf right out, and that gave him the extra yards.
Good blocking. Here's the defensive line. Look at the blocking by Barrett working on Dreyer. They're stringing the thing out. You think the Rams have good defensive position. At the last second, Williams gets around the corner. Boy, just excellent blocking. If you can block like you, stay on your feet. The thing is, they didn't throw at people. They stayed up on their feet, and that's what made the play successful.
First and 10 on the Ram 18-yard line. Washington on the left side and Lash to the right. Plunkett to Delvin Williams, trying to get behind Farnhorst, but before Farnhorst could do anything for him, why, he was taken down. As far as the numbers, Plunkett 9 for 12, 140 yards and 1 touchdown. Namath 4 for 8 for 7-2. McCutcheon has gained 59 yards to be the top Ram rusher. And as we've pointed out, San Francisco having trouble with their rushing game. They now have rushed Jackson and Williams for a total of 28 yards. No gain on that play, so it is second and 10. Paul Seal is now in the ball game on the left side. Ball on the Ram 18. And Plunkett that time finally got the Rams to respond. Give me the way you would try, in all honesty. Give me a regular cadence and then show me how you can jump them.
What you do, it's unrhythmic. Instead of saying, like if the play is on 2, you'd say 221, 221, set, hop, hop. But if you're going to go on 3 sometimes, you would say 321, 321 set. Hup, hup. And then you hesitate and then come back with a hup. And as a quarterback can control the thing. If he sees him moving, he can go hup, hup, and then hup. So it really messes up the defensive linemen's trying to time the play.
Second and 5 from the 13-yard line, but they can't get that moving because the Rams kept together, and they bury him at the 15-yard line. Delvin Williams trying to get some daylight, but it wasn't there. Big Cody Jones, among others.
Only fallacy in changing that count and going to an unrhythmic count like that and going to a different cadence than you usually have is at times you pull your own team off.
I was going to say, you know, Namath uses the word hike 3 times. Hike, hike, hike. And then if he starts to vary that, I can see you can get a back in motion or something.
You do.
The 49ers on a drive with 11:22 to go in the third quarter. Big play for Plunkett now. Looking down the right-hand side, a flip complete to Delvin Williams. And they had him on Bob Brodzinski. And the pass went over Brodzinski's head right to Delvin Williams. It'll be first and goal.
Perfectly thrown ball by Jim Plunkett here. It was right. Look how he throws this ball. Watch it come down right over Brodzinski, who had good coverage. Almost knocks him out of bounds.
And an ideal set, of course, to turn a halfback loose on that rookie linebacker, too.
He was in good position. Just a perfectly thrown ball.
The ball on the Ram 3, first and goal. So Plunkett, trailing by 10, has a chance to get back in the ball game. Delvin Williams, he's in there. Oh, what a misdirection.
Same type of play the Rams scored on, going up the middle with a quick trap. And you watch it right here. He steps out. You see the man coming across. Lawson on the trap. Williams makes good piece of running after that. Good piece of running to get in.
But when they pulled to make the trap, you thought sure the play was going the other way. So Delvin Williams breezing in, and the 49ers are very much alive at 17-13. Tom Whittem trying to make it 14 for San Francisco. It's up, and the kick is good. And so with 11 minutes and 9 seconds to go in the third quarter from the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, the Rams 17, the 49ers 14.
I would tell another woman to go into Firestone.
Ask a friend about Firestone, Firestone, Firestone.
This is my car, and I think it's more or less my responsibility. And when when it comes time to changing tires, I'm the one that had to take it in. Well, if someone was to ask me, you know, what tires to get, I would tell them to get Firestone.
Firestone.
The Quintrix 2-color picture tube from Panasonic brings you a very lifelike picture. Because Quintrix 2 is our inline picture tube with an extra pre-focus lens that concentrates and focuses the electron beam to bring you Panasonic's sharpest picture ever. So lifelike, you may even feel you're part of the picture. Quintrix 2, one more reason Panasonic is just slightly ahead of our time.
17-14 Rams, 11 minutes and 9 seconds to go in the third quarter. Wendell Tyler standing on his own 10. Tom Whittem kicks it over his head. Into the end zone, there will be no run back. So Wendell Tyler wisely electing to touch it down. And the Rams will take over first and 10 on their own 20. Sonny?
Third period score, Denver 17, Seattle 7.
So the Rams putting it in play, and a pumped-up San Francisco defensive club now. If they can stop the Rams and quickly, or the 49ers have to believe they've got something going here.
Another third period score then is Washington still 7, St. Louis 0.
First and 10 from the Ram 20. Namath with his back split, McCutcheon and Capoletti. Jackson left and Scales right, and here comes McCutcheon. And he get out across the 22-yard line. So picked up a couple. In case you were not with us earlier, on almost the first play of the game, Ron Jesse was injured after catching a pass and is out at least for the rest of the game. So Dwight Scales is in there in his stead, but they really miss Ron Jesse.
Namath starting as he did in the first half. He had success running up the middle, and that's exactly the way he ran the first play.
2nd and 6 from the Ram 24. Scales right and Jackson left. Capoletti, nowhere. Boy, he tested the right side of the San Francisco line, and nothing gave. Cleveland Elam, who plays right over the head of Rick Saul, is very much active in the ballgame. Elam is one of these kids who is now 251. He's gained 28 pounds since they drafted him in 1975. He's just a growing boy.
Floyd Peters said he saw him, he was sitting on the bench behind Hart, and he said, move that man inside, let him play. He's a football player.
3rd and 3 on the Ram 27. Namath gonna go down, and guess who? The boy we were just talking about, Cleveland Elam. We'll pick him up. He is 6'4", 251, 3 years out of Tennessee State.
Oh, he makes a real quick move around Tom Mack. You see the big step there. Joe didn't even have a chance to get set. He saw Elam breaking free on him, and he went down.
That's the 2nd sack for San Francisco. Hardman had gotten Joe in the first half, and they are just starting to warm to the occasion. But Glenn Walker will be punting from inside his 5-yard line. Rick Jennings all alone for the 49ers at midfield, and he's going to receive it on his own 36-yard line. To the 40, and Brzezinski nails him before he can get back to the 45. So with 9 minutes and 21 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter, the score, the Rams 17, the 49ers 14.
To play middle linebacker, you gotta be more than tough. You gotta be a mind reader, ready for anything that comes your way. And to be really great, you gotta give it that extra effort. Pabst gives it that extra effort to brew the finest quality beer. That's why we have the confidence to make the Pabst Challenge. Taste and compare Blue Ribbon with any premium beer. Taste the difference quality makes. Pabst. Since 1844, the quality has always come through.
The Ford in Your Future is coming October 7th. The new Ford Fairmont. A new wagon designed for today and the years ahead. The Fairmont wagon has excellent mileage ratings, but while it is trim and lean outside, Fairmont has almost 90% of the passenger space of most large wagons, and with its seat down can swallow up all this cargo. Is Fairmont the Ford of your future? Test drive Fairmont October 7th. Find out for yourself. Fairmont, the newest better idea from the Wagon Master.
Sunday, Rhoda's mother, Nancy Walker, returns.
Ma, you are incredible.
I know.
Sunday at 8, 7 Central and Mountain.
John Capoletti, Heisman Trophy winner, scored his first touchdown of the year today. The Rams leading 17-14, and it's 1st and 10 for San Francisco on their own 44. Play action fake to Delvin Williams. Plunkett going deep to the right side to Gene Washington, and there might be interference. There is. Pat Thomas interfering with Gene Washington. Bill Simpson was along for the ride, but I believe it's Pat Thomas guilty of the infraction. That'll put the ball inside the Ram 15-yard line.
Plunkett, look at him. He really lays this one out there. It's hard to tell. Thomas running, trying with the ball. He didn't really make an effort. He doesn't look at the ball. See if we can pick it up from this angle. You see him not making an effort to look for it. Washington leaning in, trying to get the ball, pass interference.
A 43-yard penalty is what it turns out to be. 1st and 10 on the Ram 14. And here comes San Francisco. Washington right and Lash left. Mitchell a tight end on the left side. Pitch back to Delvin Williams. And boy, does he pay for that. He just did get by the first shot by Dave Elmendorf. Otherwise, he would have lost a lot of yardage. Jim Youngblood finally brought him down.
The Rams were anticipating a pass again there because they came with a safety blitz. And when you run wide like that, there's a good chance you can break that thing and go all the way, but the pursuit caught up with the play then.
2nd and 7, the ball on the 11-yard line of the Rams. Washington right, Lash left. Here comes Wilbur Jackson, flag on the play. Brzezinski chasing him, and he goes down, and there are 2 flags on the play now. The penalty, I think, against San Francisco because the flag was so early. I would assume illegal motion. It might be Jim Lash.
Hey, two of them again. This is the third time we've had two penalties. Second time on San Francisco where they've had two in one play. A little motion penalty and clipping on Gene Washington, I think.
Last week, we saw something like 25 penalties in the Atlanta-Washington game, remember?
They have. They've had, I think, penalties up about 15% this year, but I talked with Bob Cochran at the league office. He said, look, see if we can pick up the call here if these officials fixed his... All right.
24, accept it. Backfield in motion declined. All right.
So the clipping accepted, the backfield in motion declined, of course, and from the 14, they are back on the 26-yard line. So Plunkett now has Washington in a slot inside Lash left, and Seal, the tight end, on the right side. He's got Washington at the 5. Dave Elmendorf went diving over his shoulder. Gene Washington made the catch, and Bill Simpson finally lay on top of him.
This is called muscling the ball in there. He comes very close to getting this picked off. You see him, he's trying to pick out Washington's running a crossing pattern, and he really hums this ball to get it in there because you see how close the man comes, coming sloughing off to make the play on the ball. Thomas just goes by. Simpson tags him down. A big play by the 49ers and by Plunkett.
A 20-yard pass play. First and goal from the Rams 6. It's 17-14 Rams, and the 49ers on the move. A check down to make it third down. Pardon me, and he is grabbed from behind. We forgot about the penalties. Larry Brooks made the hit. So it was third down from the 6, as Plunkett had to recover from the penalty and got 20 of them back. So now it will be fourth down. Tom Whittem is in there, and the 49ers trying to go for the field goal and get even.
Big play again, though, but you can't, I tell you, Plunkett just hung in there as long as he could. Really made a good throw to Washington to set up this short field goal try.
Harrison will spot the ball on the 14, so it's a 24-yard field goal attempt by Tom Whittem. No good. And a dispirited and disgusted 49er club lets one get away. So with 6:55 to go in the third period, 17-14 Los Angeles.
Drop is too little to cover the head of a match. Yet this is enough adhesive, super strong, super fast to lift 2.5 tons. It's Dulo Super Glue. A drop will do to mend jewelry, ceramics, rubber, and glass in only 10 seconds. It truly is super strong and super fast. Super Glue. A drop will do. Super Glue. A product of Loctite Technology.
Should have bought Mobil 1. The oil that saves you gas, you know.
Should have bought Mobil 1. Helps you start at 35 below.
Should have bought Mobil 1. Engine temperature heads 500. You're cool.
Should have bought Mobil 1. You only change it every 15,000 miles.
Mobil 1, the oil that does it all. Take it from an expert.
Well, the field goal was from the 14 and missed, so they spot the ball on the Ram 20, so the Rams picked up 6 yards on that play and put it in play, first and 10. It's McCutcheon behind Capoletti and Mack, but he is caught from behind and dragged down. And it was Dave Washington who was able to get him by the back of the shoulders and bring him down. Namath, 4 for 8, and listen to the numbers for Jim Plunkett. Plunkett is 11 for 14 for 171 yards and a touchdown.
He made some good throws and big plays under pressure, too.
Tony Klein is in there now to give Hardman a breather. Second and 12 from the 18. Namath looking towards Capoletti, but then goes the other way to Harold Jackson at the 30-yard line. And Jackson goes down at the 32. Van der Bont hit him first. That slowed him down, and Mel Phillips came up to nail him, for sure, at about the 32-yard line. That's a big play.
Watch Namath after he delivers this ball. He gets sandwiched. Oh, does he get sandwiched there. And he came up, he bent over a little bit after he got up. Looked like he could have been banged up a little bit. Is that a quick change of directions by Jackson?
Wow, he came back to bail out. We're looking at Cleveland Elam. First and 10 from the 32 of the Rams. Capoletti, but there's a flag and a whistle. Oh, let's see.
A little movement in there. Was spotted. Yep.
Start offense number 75.
So John Williams moving. You were talking about changing the cadence and upsetting the defense, and sometimes you pay the price, and there it is. Bill presented to John Williams.
Oh, offensive lineman always telling you, says, change your count, my defensive man's beating me, beating me. You change your count, and he jumps off there.
So Namath having to put the ball in play from his own 27-yard line, first down. Joe going down the right side. Jackson came back to make the catch. Anthony Leonard had left him. Leonard just kept on going, and Jackson came back. Pass completed easily inside the 49 or 45-yard line.
That's just a smart play by Harold Jackson coming back. Ball underthrown a long way. Joe, it kind of slipped in his hands or something. Jackson just made an excellent play. Let's take a look at Cleveland Elam here, trying to get in for the pass. Oh, got two men, Saul grabbing in there, and Mack, no place to go.
First and 10 on the San Francisco 43. Scales on a wing outside Terry Nelson, the tight end, and it's McCutcheon. And Leonard does a fine job of making the tackle and avoiding a shoulder block from Dwight Scales.
Watch Elam again here, coming over. He gets clipped here. Good block by Tom Mack here, taking Elam out of the quick pursuit because that's what he does so well, get in plays away from him.
Second and 7 from the San Francisco 40-yard line. Scales this side. Harold Jackson wide left. The Joe going to the air. And he bounced it. No good. Terry Nelson, the intended receiver, and there's a flag on the play.
Again, Elam may have gotten held 2 plays before that, and I think they're going to catch him this time.
Sooner or later. He's an outstanding ball player.
Just as soon as you rush a passer like that, I don't think his defensive lineman don't go back. And he says...
holding number 75.
Now, we got John Williams for the call, but every time they rush a passer, they come back. Well, look at him here. A little spinning action. He spins twice. That shows you the quickness that he has. And then Howard comes over. You don't think he's holding him? And every time they go back to that official, they say, look, watch that guy. He's holding me this time. He's holding him. There's Williams holding.
All right, second and 17. The ball at midfield.
123.
Here comes McCutcheon on a draw, and Hardman got him from behind. And actually, Tommy Hart had driven in. John Williams kept Hart off him, but that delay was for Hardman to come back and get him.
Somebody's down. It looks like we have an injury.
It might be Lawrence McCutcheon. McCutcheon, who was hit low and from behind by Hardman, and then had some other people come up and hit him high, among others Willie Harper. And so Lawrence McCutcheon banged up. He has been coming back from a hamstring and has not been 100% anyway. 3:59 to go in the third quarter. Rams 17, San Francisco 14.
Port of Call, Caribbean. The Navy. See your local recruiter or call toll-free. It's not just a job, it's an adventure.
like I tell my friends, I said, see a Firestone deal if you're having trouble out your ties.
Ask a friend about Firestone, Firestone, Firestone.
When you're driving on a Firestone tire, it's a good feeling.
You and I, when we go to buy a tire, I don't believe we're experts.
Against San Francisco.
The last three throws by Joe Namath, after he took the sandwich back there, and he got sandwiched by the two defensive linemen. Every ball he's thrown since then has been in the ground. He bounced one to Nelson, he bounced that one, he bounced one other one.
Here's Glenn Walker punting for the Rams. Rick Jennings all alone on his 10-yard line. And a very short punt. After some great punts, Walker is short and hits it OB. And of course, Glenn Walker had a 10-yard punt against Atlanta, and it led to the Atlanta victory over the Rams.
They have a third quarter score. Washington 14, St. Louis Cardinals nothing. Another touchdown pass from Billy Kilmer to Gene Fugit.
So a 14-yard punt by Glenn Walker, and that'll be a break for the 49ers. They put the ball in play on their own 33-yard line. First and 10, it's 17-14 Rams, 3:26 to go in the third quarter. Washington left and Lash right. Delvin Williams got across the 35.
We have a report that they don't feel that Lawrence McCutcheon's knee injury is serious, which happens to be good news as far as the Rams are concerned.
By the way, the final results at Watkins Glen today: James Hunt first, Mario Andretti second, and Jody Shelter third. That would be the U.S. Grand Prix. You'll see highlights of that next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular, along with the Karate Contact Championship and the Strongest Men competition. Plunkett under a little heat, and Youngblood runs by Dreyer. Gets across the 40 and is upended by number 53, Jim Youngblood.
Oh, this is why. Boy, you go back to the great pressure there by Jack Youngblood. Jim going back up the middle, and watch this hit. He goes up in the air, upside down, right on his shoulder and helmet then. He's got to be going, where's everybody gone? And now your coach, if he's calling the play, he sends in a long pass play you can't even see.
So it's third and about 3 for the 49ers. The ball just over the 40-yard line, and here comes Delvin Williams. He got a block by Lawson on Elmendorf, but it wasn't enough. And on second effort, Youngblood came up to get him, and he might have just made the first down. We'll see where they spot it. Steve Lawson, who was playing hurt. In fact, Lawson was a doubtful starter, and he made the block that time to get the first down.
So that Denver leading Seattle 17-14.
The ball on the San Francisco 44-yard line, first and 10. Washington left, Lash right. Out of the eye, Williams the deep back. And Delvin with Jackson throwing a block on Isaiah Robertson, and Jim Youngblood makes the hit again. Well, all Jackson can do is take care of one man, Robertson, number 58, and that left Youngblood for the kill.
Jim Youngblood looks like he's feeling a little more comfortable moving in that middle.
It's a tough spot without Jack Reynolds and Youngblood suddenly being converted to that position. He's coming off knee surgery. He was hurt in the third game last year against the Giants, so he just started. Second and 11 from the 49er 43. Plunkett gonna keep. He's to midfield. Flag on the play as he goes down across the 45. Bill Simpson on top of him. And there was a push and a shove, I think, against Keith Fondhorst of San Francisco, number 71.
And it was after Youngblood had already gone by Plunkett. Plunkett was running when he shoved him. He wasn't in the play at all. A real costly mistake.
The 14-yard gain that has been reduced to ashes. And the penalty against Fondhorst, number 71. Fondhorst, a tight end at Minnesota.
Use the hands offense, number 71.
That's who it is.
And this is what kills you. quarterback has just made a big play. He just ran for 15 yards, picked up a first down, and now he goes back in the huddle. He's pooped. What happens? He's got 2nd and 20. He's got to come up with a big play again. San Diego 21, Cincinnati 3. Boy, is that an upset.
Well, we'll see about Plunkett in the big play. He has Seal wide left, Washington in a slot right. Plenty of protection, and he goes down to Washington, who dropped it. Gene Washington, if he catches the ball, he had 1 step to go for a first down, and he dropped the ball.
And he hit him right in the numbers. You don't see that very often.
Washington had caught 3 for 60 yards.
Watch Plunkett going back here, really waits, gets good protection this time, makes a good throw. Look at this. Nobody around him, and it just comes right out. The easiest kind to drop. Jim Plunkett turned around and says, what do I have to do to get a first down?
Cody Jones comes out, and Carl Eckern coming in for the Rams. And for the 49ers now, Plunkett brings him out with Washington in a slot left inside Jim Lash. 3rd and 20 from the 34. Seal, wide right. On a draw to Wilbur Jackson. He can't get by Brzezinski. A good play by rookie Bob Brzezinski out of Ohio State. And so San Francisco will have to kick, and that penalty just killed him.
Certainly did. The 2 penalties killed him. They get backed up here. And when you got the prevent defense, they had 5 linebackers real deep. It's hard to throw over that. And they just called the draw play, hoping for a big run, and they didn't get it, and they have to give up the ball. Hope to wait till next time.
And for the Rams, of course, that 14-yard punt by Glenn Walker does not hurt them too much because of the defense. And the 3rd quarter is history here at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. And the score, the Rams 17 and the 49ers 14. We'll pause now for a word from your local station.
Young Daniel Boone faces a trial by peril at the hands of the Cherokee Indians Tuesday night at 8, 7 Central and Mountain on CBS.
The start of the 4th quarter, 17-14 Rams. Tom Whittem punting for San Francisco from his own 25-yard line, and standing deep, Cullen Bryant and Billy Waddy for the Rams. They're on their 22. So Whittem gets good blocking. The Rams are not coming. They go back to set up, and Waddy a fair catch shy of the 35. And the Rams will put it in play 1st and 10 on their own 33-yard line. Next Sunday, the NFL on CBS. It'll be a doubleheader. The regional games, Philadelphia versus the New York Giants, Detroit, Minnesota, Atlanta, San Francisco, Washington versus Tampa Bay. And then Dallas versus St. Louis. Dallas winning today, St. Louis losing to Washington. That's next Sunday right here on CBS. 1st and 10 on the Ram 33. Scales wide right, Jackson left, and it is McCutcheon back in there to the 35. So evidently Lawrence's knee banged up, but well enough for him now to get back in and play.
Yes, for him to come back, sure, it was just a bruise, because they certainly wouldn't be taking a chance on him leading this game in the 4th quarter.
2nd and 8. The ball just shy of the Ram 35-yard line. Jackson right, Scales left, and Terry Nelson, the tight end, on the left side. Hart trying to get at him, but Namath unlimbers and completes his pass. Anthony Leonard is all over Harold Jackson at the 45-yard line. And there's a flag in the backfield.
Yes, sir. We have another flag down.
Tommy Hart was putting on heat. It might have been someone trying to keep Hart out of there.
That was a well-thrown ball. He had double coverage, and they beat the double coverage on a turn-in then.
Offense 75, illegal use of the hands.
So John Williams caught for maybe 2nd or 3rd time today. That was a pretty good rush put on by the San Francisco front 4. They have 2 sacks. Hardman has 1, and Elam has the other.
If we can pick up Williams blocking here. Nope, we don't pick up. He was outside there.
Jackson right, Scales left, and Namath will try it again. And he completes it to Capoletti, who gets out to the 35 with Mel Phillips on his back as Dave Washington went flying by.
Good throw, good possession, and backs out of the backfield, hooking up. This is a shorter pass to beat that rush. They beat the rush in, gets the ball off very quickly, picks up 10 yards.
3rd and about 8 for the Rams, the ball on their own 35-yard line. And the same formation with the back split. So we'll see if Joe passes with the split back formation. Back stay in the block. Namath deep down the right side and broken up. Intended for Harold Jackson, and right there with him was Anthony Leonard. By the way, Sonny, when the backs are split, invariably you see a National Football League quarterback pass. What's the basic idea of splitting your backs and making it a pass formation?
When you get them out behind your tackles like that, Vin, it gives you a good opportunity to get them in the pass pattern. They can get in the pass pattern much quicker than they can from the I formation. And everybody likes to do it. A lot of teams have a big tendency of throwing when you have the back split. Other thing is, you can also help those block those defensive ends.
Glenn Walker gets a high one away from his 25. Rick Jennings on his 30. And the Blues taken down at the 35. There was McLean and Hara, the first two to get to him. Nolan Cromwell also there. So with 13 minutes left to go in the ball game, Rams 17, 49ers 14.
Of all of the small cars to choose from, Ford Pinto offers the kind of value that makes it the best-selling American small car. Pinto has a low price, and over 75% of Pinto's schedule maintenance requirements have been reduced or eliminated. And Pinto has higher resale value than Chevy Chevette. When it comes to small cars, there are a lot to choose from. When it comes to value, look to Ford Pinto, the best-selling American small car. When America needs a better idea, Ford puts it on wheels.
Schlitz Light. Schlitz Light beer has a third fewer calories than our other fine beer, and all the taste beer drinkers expect from Schlitz.
Why does he drink that?
It is his beer. The only light beer with gusto.
Schlitz Light.
Beer drinkers know it took Schlitz to bring the taste to light.
Someday, Archie wants to buy a business.
I want to see Kelsey's bar turned into Bunker's bar.
At 8:30, 7:30 Central and Mountain.
The Ram bench, listen.
Up here, so we got, that means we got right here, right here, this table, this is the other guy. Okay, right here, right here, right here, right here. We're solid on this side. You're right. Go back to take it.
What they're talking about is punt. Picking out your man, numbering off who you take on the punt. They must have been scared. They almost got the last one blocked.
1st and 10 on the San Francisco 35. Wilbur Jackson out to the 40-yard line with Budzinski and Youngblood making the tackles. And you have to remember this 49er club had a 14-yard gain by Plunkett, wiped away on a penalty. Gene Washington dropped what looked like a cinch first down pass completion, and now they're trying to come back again.
Another third quarter score. Denver 24, Seattle 13.
Got it out to the 39, so that makes it 2nd and 6 for Jim Plunkett. He has Lash right, Washington left. Williams, the deep man, in the eye. Fake to Delvin Williams. Plunkett a little lob to Mitchell, and he can't hold it. Dave Elmendorf wasn't sure, so he brought him down.
Well, what a quick reaction by Jim Plunkett then. He got pressure. He was going on that little waggle where he throws a check down. Had Mitchell coming across, and he just kind of pushed it to him. Mitchell couldn't hold on to it.
Tom Mitchell, 10-year man out of Bucknell. He's an interesting man, a scratch golfer. He's got a pilot's license. He owns a golfing complex. Got a lot of irons in the fire. Paid attendance, 55,466. And they see 3rd and 6 on the San Francisco 39. Washington right, Lash left. Plunkett with Youngblood trying to get to him, and it is not intercepted, but it was that close. Bill Simpson had his hands on it. Couldn't come up with it.
Well, that's when you go off the field saying, boy, am I glad I made a bad throw.
That's right. If he had gotten a little bit higher, Simpson has himself an interception.
And a touchdown.
So Bill Simpson, the Huck Finn of the Rams, just came up a buck short. And now Tom Whittams will be asked to punt from about his own 27-yard line. Skip Vanderbunt is back there to block for him. And Billy Waddy standing all alone on his 25. And the punt is blocked by Bill Simpson. Picked up by Jim Jodat and run out of bounds. So if Simpson can't intercept it, he blocked it.
And not only that, they got a penalty on the play for hitting Jodat out of bounds.
Simpson coming in from the left side. Vanderbunt tries to pick him up. Simpson went right by Vanderbunt and blocked Whittam's punt.
Here it is again. You see the block. Oh, that's great hustle. That's something you work on all week long. Great hustle. And they're also going to get a penalty on this thing.
That's something for Simpson, who is frustrated on the interception, to come right back breathing fire and block the punt, and then add a little fillip to that. The penalty will put the ball on the 15-yard line.
It was on a 30-yard line. Unnecessary roughness, number 41 on the defense. That's first down.
So Mike Balderson, a rookie out of Washington, guilty of unnecessary roughness, and the Rams get a big slice of cake, 1st and 10 on the San Francisco 15-yard line on a block punt by Bill Simpson. Harold Jackson left, White Scales right, Capoletti and McCutcheon in the I. Second man, McCutcheon, across the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. McGill had to come up and hit him along with Vanderbunt.
Right at the good blocking at the point of attack then by Williams and Dennis Howard. Rich Saul really blew him out. Big hole again.
So the ball on the San Francisco 9. That will make it 2nd and 4. Jackson left, Scales right. Terry Nelson on the right side. Here comes Capoletti, but he bumps into Tom Mack, and he is drowned under 49ers. He was trying to follow Tom Mack, and Mack couldn't get the block off. So then when he tried to peel off and go around, no way.
He gets slowed up in the backfield here a little bit, has to bounce out of it, and then pursuit catches up with him. Good hustling defense. 3rd down, looks like Joe coming in with their second tight end. Charlie Young's coming in.
He got the ball down to the 7-yard line, so that was a pretty good effort. It makes it 3rd and 2. Young on the right side, Nelson on the left, Scales on the wing left. McCutcheon. And he bounced away from Bruce Taylor at the 5-yard line. The whistle blows the ball dead. McGill and Washington finally hit him, but it was Bruce Taylor who had the shot to ruin the play. And that's enough for a 1st and goal for Los Angeles, leading 17-14, 10:30 left to go in the game.
They're really taking advantage of their scoring opportunities. They started on the 15-yard line early on a good punt return. Now they're coming up with this.
The 1st and goal, Scales on the right wing. 2 tight ends. Capoletti grabbed by McGill, and Ralph McGill was able to grab him by one arm and hold him up.
Oh, good defensive charge in. Excellent defensive charge. They beat the Rams off the ball then and kind of took them off and stacked everybody up.
See, that Ralph McGill is amazing. A couple of years ago, he was kicked in the head by Tom Dempsey, and everybody feared for his life. He had a concussion last year that put him out of action for 4 weeks, a neck sprain last week. Here he is.
And he's been all over the field today making big plays.
6-year man out of Tulsa, Ralph McGill. 2nd and goal for the Rams. McCutcheon. And Jim Webb got him. He tried to come back away from his blockers, and he ran right into Jim Webb. who owns a dairy farm and wants to be a veterinarian. But not today.
Not today. I'll tell you that. You got to be impressed with the way the 49ers are playing defense now. They came up, they had first and goal to go on the 4-yard line. Look at them now. They're back on the 7-yard line, and it's third down.
They had first and 10 on the San Francisco 15. Hammered it first to goal on the 3. Now it's third and goal on the 7. And they're going to string them out a little bit. Scales left, Jackson right. They split the backs. Namath to pass. And it's deflected and broken out. It was deflected, I believe, by Ed Gallagher, number 75. And if so, that's ironic because Gallagher was a teammate of Joe Namath with the New York Jets.
I'd say, Dave, they thought they had an interception then. Watch this. A ball gets deflected.
Yep.
And look at it up in the air. See two men. Phillips goes in and knocks it down. But they're going to have an interception if the ball it gets through there. If Phillips doesn't knock it down, they get an interception. Maybe come away from this thing without any points.
Septien trying for a field goal. Nolan Cromwell will spot the ball on the 14, almost 15, so about a 25-yard field goal attempt, and it is good. So the 49ers did as well or more than you could expect, but the Rams still pick up 3 and lead 20-14.
Wherever you may roam, you'll find our name is known. You can trust a Delco. Thanks, Delco. Delco Freedom Battery. When things are getting thick and you want to start real quick, you can trust a Delco. Thanks, Delco. Delco Freedom Battery. They've got the stuff when the starting's tough. You can trust a Delco. Thanks, Delco. Delco Freedom Battery. Delco Freedom.
Thanks, Delco.
You get to be the superstar in renting car when you got the kind of people who can get things ready. Even before you get there, Hertz has more of them than anyone. People who want to get their job done fast and who can put out that extra effort when things get busy.
Go, Hertz, go.
People who know the most important thing is getting each customer away fast into a reliable Ford or other fine car. Come to Hertz.
The superstar in rent-a-car.
You know it.
8 minutes and 53 seconds left to go in the ball game, and picture postcards from Los Angeles. The Rams kicking off to the 49ers, and it'll be Paul Hofer out of the end zone. He got away from Al Cowlings and goes out at the 25. Al Cowlings hit him at the 15, and he just brushed him off. A good return by Paul Hofer.
His second good return.
You'll see Cowlings number 70 in a moment.
Yeah, watch him come up. He follows his wall of blockers, cuts to the outside. There's Cowlings missing the tackle. He gets around, and you see how hard he is to bring down. He almost broke another tackle.
First and 10 on the San Francisco 26-yard line. Washington right, Lash left. Jackson and Williams going all the way back there behind Plunkett. Jim unloading, bobbled, and intercepted by Brzezinski. The ball was caught by Williams, popped out of his arms into the hands of Bob Brzezinski, the rookie linebacker from Ohio State, and they're mobbing him.
And what an alert play he makes here. You watch your rush on Plunkett. He does well to get the ball off. It's going to be a quick screen, and the ball pops up in the air. And Brzezinski just really, it's amazing how quick his hands were right here to come up with that interception.
Amidst the good news for the Rams, bad news, Ron Jesse will have surgery tomorrow for torn knee ligament.
Oh.
First and 10 on the Ram 20. Scales left, Jackson right. Lawrence McCutcheon. And he got inside the 15 and goes out of bounds at the 11-yard line.
Boy, he does this all on his own. Plays going up the middle. Watch this. He cuts right here because he sees daylight, cuts outside, and just his speed gets him around the corner.
McCutcheon has carried 22 times for 83 yards. There's a San Diego big story.
San Diego 24 over Cincinnati 3 in the fourth period. Now it's 14-7. Washington over St. Louis.
Second and 2 from the 11. Cappelletti is to the 5, across the 5. Ralph McGill hit him, and it didn't bother him. Cappelletti kept on going.
All right, first down.
First down inside the 5.
Again, good running by the back. John Cappelletti this time. There you see the Washington score. Jim Hart hit J.V. Kane.
Charles Young, the tight end on the left side. Terry Nelson on the right side. Scales on a wing. So it's first and goal from the 3. Name it to Cappelletti. He's not going to go anywhere. McCutcheon threw a pretty good block on Bruce Taylor, but Skip Vanderbunt was able to make the hit.
This is where they had trouble getting in last time. Second and goal. They started on the 4-yard line last time.
Well, I tell you, that 49er defense in this 82-degree weather, they got to be dragging now.
They've been on the field a long time, and it's just a big play.
7.5 to go in the game. Second and goal from the 2. Rod Phillips is in there, but it's McCutcheon. Phillips trying to block for him. Well, what a battle in the end zone with Mel Phillips and Dwight Scales knocking each other crazy on that run up the middle.
Looked like a wrestling match, didn't it?
Oh. So Kenny Myers asking his defense to hold on again, which is almost asking the impossible. The 49ers have played well. A couple of penalties, an interception on one drop by Williams. The drop by Gene Washington has ruined what would have been a big second-half comeback. Third and 1 from the 1. Cappelletti got in there. The 49ers say no, but the officials say yes. Oh, no, says Anthony Leonard. No, 1,000 times no.
I can't believe it. Oh, I cannot believe it. Look at him.
So Cappelletti following Tom Mack. He can take another look.
Let's see what we can make out of the play. He goes over the top. A lot of people. And you know who's right underneath there? Is that McGill and Vanderbunt.
And there's Taylor coming along.
And Taylor coming in. He must have got it on his second effort. He don't look... I tell you, he has a lot.
That's good. There's a few oh-no's up north, I'm sure.
I'm sure of that.
We've got 6:35 to go in the ball game, and the Rams are sitting on what is now a comfortable lead, 27-14.
Inside this new Firestone radial tire is an improved steel cord with 5 million miles of developmental testing. Where once we used 5 strands, we now use 10 strands of steel. 7, around 2, wrapped by 1. A cord construction so important, Firestone named the tire for it. 7, 2, 1. The new steel-belted radial 721. Now, from Firestone.
Leslie Caron for Color Track by RCA.
In Gigi, my brooch was blue, the leaves were green, and my gown was lavender lace. If these colors don't look right to you, you should know about Color Track from RCA. Getting the color right is what Color Track is all about. It actually adjusts the colors and locks them on track.
Before you see the Color Track system grabs it, aligns it, defines it, sharpens it, tones it, and locks the color on track.
RCA is making television better and better.
Leading 27-14. Rafael Septien ready to boot it off. The Rams covering 19 yards in 5 plays with Cappelletti bringing it over. Paul Hofer will let it kick and stay. So Septien, who has been kicking him into the end zone since joining the Rams, kicks another one through, and it'll be first and 10 from the 20 for San Francisco. 5 plays, 19 yards. Remember the big play, the pass to Delvin Williams. It popped out of Williams' arms, picked off by linebacker Bob Brzezinski, and then the Rams finally punched it over.
Again, taking advantage of scoring opportunities, coming away with points. Sign of a good football team.
First and 10 from the San Francisco 20. Lash right, Washington left. Plunk it to Delvin Williams, blocked by Jackson, and what a play by Bob Brzezinski. Wilbur Jackson blocked him. Brodzinski slipped the block and made the tackle on Delvin Williams. The kid out of Ohio State having a marvelous day.
Watch him. All he does is jump outside of Jackson's block here. He jumps outside, positions himself. He sees Williams commit himself, just steps back in and makes the play. Played the play perfectly.
So 2nd and 10 from the 20. Plunkett completes a Paul Seal at the 30, and he gets almost to the 35-yard line. And the good job done on Jack Youngblood, who almost got in there on Plunkett, and the 49ers kept him away. 14-yard pass play and a completion, and that'll make it a 1st and 10. The ball on the just shy of the 35.
A lot of pressure on Plunkett now. He's had an outstanding day. 12 out of 19, 185 yards. And he's had him dropped. He's had him knocked up in the air and intercepted. He's had everything happen to him.
Over the middle to Seal, and he dropped it. And he took a lick anyway from Elvendorf and Youngblood. Bad enough to drop it, but to get hit twice, that's really double jeopardy.
Yeah. I don't think he really gets a handle on this quick enough to as he wanted to get it to him, but you see, he just didn't concentrate, took his eyes off the ball, and he gets nailed in there and pays the price for it. You're going to get hit like that, you might as well just catch your ball anyway. You're going to suffer.
5 minutes and 10 seconds left on the ball game. 2nd and 10 from the 34. Youngblood taking the heat. Now Dreyer chasing him. And he'll go out of bounds before Isaiah Robertson can get in a lick.
And we have another little penalty, a little shove by the offensive lineman.
Same guy, 71.
Same guy.
71, you grabbed him first by the face.
Discouraging to hear it. It's same guy, 71, if you're 71.
Yes, it is. Youngblood had beat him around the outside, and he didn't have much choice. You have to decide right.
Illegal use of the hands offense, number 71.
So Keith Von Horst, a big man, 6'6", 263 pounds, coming off thyroid surgery, only 25 years old, out of the University of Minnesota, where he played tight end.
You have to decide what you're going to do then, whether you're going to push him or let your quarterback get killed.
2nd and 20 from the 49er 24-yard line. Good protection, and again the pass went right off Wilbur Jackson's fingertips and was almost picked up by any one of 4 Los Angeles Rams. So Plunkett is on target all day, but he's not getting all the completion.
Essen got a little high on him, and you know, you stick your hands up in that crowd there. You see, he just did get it over Freddie Dreyer's hands, and Delvin Williams couldn't quite hold on to it.
He had both backs crossing there, Jackson and Williams.
Yes. San Francisco, and talking with their coaches, they got to believe in themselves a little more. They got to believe they can win.
3rd and 20 from their own 24, 4:58 left to play. Plunkett is short. It's picked up by Rod Perry. He laterals to Bill Simpson, who's at the 20, 15, 10, 5, 4-yard line. Rod Perry intercepted and lateral to Bill Simpson, who carried it inside the 5. And what a day for the 49ers.
Let's take a look at it. Plunkett trying to muscle it in double coverage. I tell you, my hat goes off to him because this is tough. He's been put in that position all day of having to come up with a big play. A lateral off to Simpson, down the field. And what happens here? Oops, back down in scoring position again.
The pass intended for Jim Lash, and there were 3 Rams there. Elmendorf, Perry, who finally caught it, and Simpson at the other end of the lateral, and it's 1st and goal on the 4, and the 49er defense now have to have their tongues hanging out. McCutcheon.
I tell you what, it's a tough break for the 49ers. They just put themselves the costly penalties, set them back and set them back. I'm sure that man standing right there says, "Whoa, what kind of field position am I getting? I start on the 10, I start on the 7, the 15, the 14.
Yeah, he's playing with housemates.
Yes, he is.
Rod Phillips coming into the backfield now to give Capoletti a breather. Nelson and Young, the two tight ends. Second down. And McCutcheon. He's in there. Lawrence McCutcheon for the touchdown. And a bone-weary 49er defense has just about had all the air let out of the balloon now. We have 4 minutes to go, and the Rams have this one with a lock on it.
Anybody in there?
You can see it right here. It's just they've been pounding on him and beating on him and beating on him. Capoletti leads. They go right in. McCutcheon, great runner that he's in. He gets into the end zone again.
So it's 33-14 Rams. Septien trying to make it 34. It's up. She's good.
And we talk about Joe Namath calling plays. It's easy to call plays inside the 20 all the time.
So right now, 4 minutes left to go. Rams 34, 49ers 14.
The Ford in your future is coming. The new Ford Fairmont. A new car designed for today and the years ahead. Fairmont's mileage ratings are the same as a little VW Rabbit when both are equipped with automatic transmission. Yet Fairmont has 90% of the head, leg, and shoulder room of most large cars and fine all-around visibility. This kind of room is combined with the highest mileage rating in its class. Test drive Fairmont October 7th. Fairmont, the newest, better idea from Ford.
When do you say Budweiser? After we find one more mile an hour. When do you say Budweiser?
Right now, or any time that's right for a cold beer is perfect for the smooth taste of the king of beers, Budweiser.
When you say Budweiser,
Here's to you, gentlemen.
you said it all.
Well, the opposite sides of the coin. Kenny Myers on the far side, Chuck Knox of the Rams against each other today, together for 4 years, and it's 34-14, Knox and the Rams. Raphael Septien will be kicking off, and this one will go right down to the edge and go into the end zone again. So Paul Hofer has nothing to do but let it bounce through. And the 49ers will put the ball in play, 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line. Couple of words said, Carl Eckern, and a couple of the 49ers, but that's broken up immediately.
And look at that fourth quarter score, 21-7, Washington over St. Louis. John Riggins on a 53-yard touchdown run. That's his biggest run since he's been in Washington.
The Cardinals being chewed up by Washington, and now they look forward to meeting Dallas at home. And Scott Bull has come in at quarterback. Jim Plunkett had the most unlucky day that a quarterback can have, Sonny.
He did.
Bull at 6'5", sends Seal left, Washington in a slot right inside Harrison. Farrell and Hofer go out, and Bull is going to be brought down by Larry Brooks after Mike Fanning, number 79, almost stole the ball on him. He got away from Fanning only to be swallowed up by Brooks.
Impossible situation for Scott Bull now. Everybody back, only 3 men coming, everybody's back. And look, he's under heavy pressure, doesn't get a chance to get set good. Just as soon as he escapes one man, there's Brooks with him.
And Brooks decked him like a sack of flour, so Scott Bull got his feet wet in a hurry.
There's the final, Miami 27, Houston 7. Don Shula's got his troops going again.
2nd and 12 from the 18. Farrell and Hofer are in the backfield, and whistles all over the place. 34-14 Rams, 3 minutes and 16 seconds left to go in the game.
Delay.
And a delay of the game.
Offensive delay.
5-yard penalty against the 49ers. So this has been a mistake-riddled second half for a 49er club that was not only in the game, got to 17-14.
Had a chance to tie it with a field goal, And from then on, it's been mistake after mistake. It's put them in the hole.
2nd and 17 from the 13. A little release quick to Bob Farrell at the 10, and he gets across the 15 and really had to pay for it. Randy Cross tried to block for him over there, but there were too many blue shirts.
And when you play a good football team, you go home and talk about the mistakes you made against them. But good football teams have a way of making you make mistakes. And that's what the Ram defense has done today. They've made the big plays. They've had the 2 interceptions that set up scores. They block a punt.
So 3rd and 12 from the 18. Bull has nothing left but to throw it up, and does to Farrell. Clean at the 25, and Bill Simpson hits him and drives him down. The same Simpson who has blocked a punt and also took the lateral. So he's had a big day.
It's not enough for the first down. They'll have to kick it away again.
So Scott Bull tried his hand at it. Former wishbone quarterback out of Arkansas. And again, Tom Woodham will be called in to punt. For the Rams, going deep, Billy Waddy and Cullen Bryant. And they'll be standing inside their own 35-yard line. We have 2 minutes left. There's the 2-minute warning. So a timeout down on the field. So the Rams are breezing. They are sitting on top of a 20-point lead, 34-14.
Maybe you're using Desenex, but to kill the fungus that causes the burning, cracking, and itching of athlete's foot, Aftate is better, much better. It's the killer. Aftate kills all major types of athlete's foot fungus and helps prevent reinfection. In fact, the medication in Aftate has been proven more effective in killing athlete's foot fungus than the medication in Desenex. Aftate is better, much better. It's the killer.
Cold night, Bob. Did you put in the Prestone antifreeze?
Prestone, Prestone. Who needs Prestone?
Prestone. You need Prestone.
If your antifreeze is worn out or you don't have enough, you could be in trouble. So put in a fresh fill of Prestone, too, to prevent corrosion and freeze-ups.
Prestone! We need Prestone!
Prestone. You need Prestone.
With 2 minutes left to go, the Rams leading the 49ers 34-14. Tom Woodham will be punting from his 15-yard line. Pat Hayden waiting on the sidelines to get in a play or two. Woodham goes to the 40-yard line. Waddy backs up and the ball follows him across the 30-yard line, and the 49ers will let it roll to the Ram 26. And Pat Hayden, who was waiting patiently, is coming in. Joe Namath had a big day, and it's now Hayden's chance to finish out. That was a 49-yard punt and no return. Good kick for Tom Woodham. There's Joe Namath accepting the congratulations of his teammates. A big day for Joe to put 34 on the board thanks to a very alert defensive club. 34-14, Rams.
Want to cut your fuel bills? Whether your house is new or old, put insulation everywhere. It can save you money. Your attic, you need a 6 to 12-inch blanket of pink Owens Corning fiberglass. Walls, full insulation. Unheated crawl space, insulate below the floor. Live where it's cold, insulate basement walls. See your Owens Corning fiberglass slyer to learn all about insulation. Insulation is cheaper than oil.
Fred, you're getting married. You gotta look great, so stop shaving. It's better to get stroked in the morning.
The Bic shaver?
The Bic shaver is so responsive, it doesn't shave you, it strokes you.
I'm gonna get stroked like this every morning.
And the Bic shaver's cheaper than blades, yet it's a blade and handle in one.
Fred, marriage agrees with you. Well, he really got stroked this morning.
The Bic shaver, lots of great shaves from just one Bic shaver. Then it's time for the next. So don't shave, get stroked in the morning.
We have 1 minute and 48 seconds left to go in the ball game. Pat Hayden takes over, 1st and 10 on the Ram 25. Final score,
San Diego 24, Cincinnati 3, another upset.
Wendell Tyler out across the 25 to the 27. So Hayden, the boy from SC, giving the football to the boy from UCLA. And it was Ed Bradley out of Wake Forest who made the tackle.
Yeah, Hayden's just trying to run the clock out unless he wants to just put one up for no particular reason.
You better have a reason.
Well, I mean, look, what are you proving by putting one up in a situation like this?
Right. 2nd and 8 from the 28. Waddy is wide right. Scales playing just outside Charles Young. And here comes Wendell Tyler, and there goes Wendell Tyler. With Klein and Cook and Mel Phillips and Bruce Taylor.
I just saw Hayden turn around, take a little quick look at the clock and decide what he wants to do here. He may decide to throw a little one here and see what happens.
Wendell Tyler, who just carried the ball, was the all-time UCLA rusher with over 3,000 yards. So he's a familiar name around these parts. 3rd and 7 from the 29.
He's got his back split.
Phillips and Tyler are the backs. Well, he was gonna put it up. Down he goes. So Pat Hayden is swallowed up. Tony Klein got in there. Doug France had his hands full with big Bill Cook. There are the credits of the producer and director, Howard Reichsteiner, Duke Strook, Ray Ball. We are hoping to bounce all the way across country in a moment. There's a timeout down on the field. The Rams sitting on top of a 34-14 lead. Pat Hayden finishing up the ball game after Joe Namath had a fine day. Another final score.
Yes, another final. Denver 24, Seattle 13. Well, that Denver team doesn't give up many points, do they? They're stingy.
Glenn Walker has had a lot of good punts and one bad punt of 14 yards, but the Ram defensive squad bailed him out of that one. So Glenn will be punting. Carl Eckern is back to help blocking. And Rick Jennings standing on his own 40-yard line for San Francisco. And it's off to the side and goes out around midfield. In fact, it will go out on the 46-yard line, and there's a fight on the field, or at least a difference of opinion. Balderson is pushed away by Dale Mitchell.
That's a nice way of putting it.
Yes.
A difference of opinion.
That's all there was.
Washington got a 41-yard field goal with 2:34 left in the fourth quarter. They now lead 24-7 over the Cardinals.
You know what the argument is between these two clubs? Whether fog is better than smog.
Which is?
Well, the ball is on the Ram 46-yard line. We have 13 seconds left to go. Scott Bull is in there. Gene Washington wide left, Kenny Harrison right. Poper and Farrell are the backs. This ought to be the last play. And Bull down the middle, completes it to Seal. Eckern hits him, and that should be that. So the 49ers finished the game on a completed pass, but they didn't have very many high spots in the second half. As we mentioned, they got to 17-14 and had a chance for a field goal to tie it up and missed it. They had several opportunities backfire, and an alert Ram ball club, either an interception and a lateral or a blocked punt, and they were able to pile up the lead and sit on top of it. Well, Bull will have one more play with 3 seconds to go. Harrison right, Washington left. And Bull is dragged and fumbled. Keith Farnhorst fell on the ball. It was Jack Youngblood who stripped the ball from him. Farnhorst recovered, but it's all over. So the Los Angeles Rams grinding out a 34-14 victory. A combination of very good offense and defense for the 49ers. Close, but a cigar, and they couldn't overcome the Rams and their own mistakes. Chuck Knox and Kenny Myers saying goodbye to each other. They were very close for 4 years here. Today they were ahead of, and it was the Rams who come up 20 on top, 34-14. That's the final from the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. Now, this is Vin Scully for Sonny Jurgensen saying goodbye from the Coliseum in Los Angeles. Now let's join Pat Summerall and Tom Brookshire for the conclusion of the St. Louis-Washington game in Washington, D.C.
It was 7. 2 minutes to play. Art Tamara said he might have the first down. He does.